We are in the South Bay tonight. Terrific Bay League football in the CIF Southern section. The Lawndale Cardinals, on their homecoming night, host last year's state champions in the 2A division, the Sea Kings of Palos Verdes. This should be the ultimate battle. This is what Friday Night Football is all about. We're right at the South Bay curve. You know, there's a lot of traffic on the 405, but inside Cardinal Stadium, we're going to have quite a collision with the Cardinals and the Sea Kings. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This will be fun. We haven't done much in the Bay League over the years on LA36, and we're pumped up to see these two teams and see if Lawndale, with a winning record, can knock off Palos Verdes. Once again, we work with Chuck Price. Chuck, let's talk about a great player that's going to perform for the Sea Kings tonight, their wide receiver, Morley Boyd.
Thanks, Randy. What I like about Morley Boyd, he's a complete receiver. He doesn't have the top-end speed that some people would love to see, but coming out of the breaks, he's phenomenal, really uses his hands. He's a gifted receiver with a lot of experience.
Had 10 catches and 190 yards, 2 touchdowns against Culver City. He's well on his way to 1,000 yards receiving. Julian Galvez gets to throw to his brother, Zavi Galvez, but Julian's the quarterback for Lawndale. Zavi's his outside target. He's going to throw to his brother tonight.
He throws to his brother a lot, but he's one gifted quarterback. The things that he does, his teammates love him, his coaches love him, and he's got a fire that you just can't create. I love watching him play.
And we love the matchup, the Sea Kings against the Cardinals. It's homecoming night. We're going to step out for a moment and come back with the opening kickoff right after this on LA36.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
We do.
Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. And welcome back. We're inside of Cardinals Stadium. Again, it's homecoming here for Lawndale. The ball's going to be possessed early on by Palos Verdes. Lawndale will be kicking off. We get to see a Palos Verdes team that's 4-3, but very explosive on offense.
Very explosive, yet trying to fill some key positions tonight with players who aren't normally their starters. Good opportunity for Lawndale to jump on them early defensively as these guys are getting their first real test.
Giorgio Damasio will be the quarterback tonight, number 12, replacing the great Ryan Rakowski. He's ineligible to play, got tossed out of the game last week, so he has to sit out tonight. So we're going to see the backup who's waited his turn. Damasio has thrown 13 passes all season long, has a touchdown and an interception. His coach, Guy Gardner, excited for the kid's opportunity.
Watching him in pregame, there's no doubt about it. The kid throws a very nice ball. He looks very well composed in running their offense, but going against 11 fresh, hot bodies is something that he hasn't seen yet. Competition brings out the best.
Mel Huerta, a very good kicker, will be kicking off for the Cardinals. He's off the soccer team. They really like him. Norris Milton, the head coach in his second year, recruited him off the soccer squad and said he's really been a bonus for us.
Well, I know Coach Milton well, and the one thing he does is he'll find the students on campus to come out for football. He's a great teacher, great coach, great father figure. The kids love him, and if there's able bodies on this campus, he's going to find them.
Cameron Hughes is very dangerous. He's back deep, number 8. As you look at Huerta, he's about to boot it away. He's a senior. Very strong leg. In fact, he had a 50-yard field goal against Mary Starr this season. A late arriving crowd. Obviously, we're right next to the 405 freeway, which always has traffic. This is Hughes returning it. Cameron Hughes out to the 28-yard line.
Excellent kick coverage by Lawndale. The Cardinals seem to really fly downfield, get to the ball, and stop that before anything big can happen. Great job on coverage.
Well, we'll get our first look at this quarterback. He is a senior, Giorgio Damasio. He's a pocket passer. He doesn't have the running ability that Ryan Rakowski would give him, but he can throw the football. And again, he's got the very fleet-footed Morley Boyd, tremendous receiver who already has nearly 600 yards receiving. First and 10, Sea Kings. And they'll run it to start. And they want to rely on their ground game a little bit this evening. And that's the gifted running back, Dominic Hernando. And they felt like they're going to have to feed him a little bit more with Rakowski and Flowers, another star player, out of their lineup. So we're going to see number 5, Hernando, extensively tonight.
This is one of those games where the head coach puts a lot of emphasis on that O-line and tells those guys, hey, you've got some new bodies behind you. You need to protect them.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1, and a good start. Palos Verdes up front, opening up a hole for Hernando, who's bouncing to the outside. First down yardage. He's still on his feet near the 50-yard line. The Sea Kings offensively very sharp on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Get a nice push from that O-line. They do a nice job getting off. But on that play, as you see right there, he's forced and bounces to the outside. And the Cardinals just lost outside contain. And we talk about that every week. You got to contain that edge.
First down, they spotted at the 48. Palos Verdes nearing the 50-yard line, and they're doing it quickly with the ground game. And they're feeding Hernando. Pile drives to the 47 of the Cardinals. 3 plays from scrimmage, 3 runs. Excellent runs from Dominic Hernando. Well, Guy Gardner wanted to establish the ground game early, and he's done it.
And this is what you have to do with the young quarterback. 3-4 yards a crack is all they really need to get this game going.
There's some of the key players. We'll see Reese as well run the football. Morley Boyd, Max Bates on defense, linebackers all over the field. And there's the twin brother, Weston Reese. Kristen and Weston are twins. Second down and a long 5. Hernando again gets the call. Still on his feet. Has a first down and a lot more inside the 40. Great running from Dominic Hernando.
Looks like they put the wing back over closer to us. They motion over to him. Really letting Lawndale think that the strength is going to be right. And then they push it back to the left where it looks like they definitely had a one-man advantage in the box.
Lead official tonight is Paul Cummings. Nice to be in the Bay League, isn't it, Chuck? They got good football here.
Good coaches, good football, great facilities, great leadership.
First and 10, Sea Kings. A steady diet of the ground game. That's the first carry of the night for Christian Reese. And again, he'll alternate a lot with Hernando. They love Christian Reese. He's a sophomore. His brother Weston also obviously a sophomore. They're twins, so they got a couple years of eligibility left, and they'll build around those 2 outstanding twin players. That Cardinal defense being challenged on this opening drive.
Well, this is really what Palos Verdes wanted to do. Move the chains, establish the dominance, eat up the clock.
Still on the ground with Reese. Christian running hard. He's one of those guys that'll put the head down. Very solid football player. Against Culver City, he had the game of his life, really. He rushed for a touchdown. He blocked a punt. He recovered a fumble. What a game he had against the Centaurs.
They really do seem to take up every second of that play clock. And I guess their intentions were really just to move this game along. You know, 2 downs here to pick up 5 yards. I don't think they'll try anything new.
8:40 left, opening quarter. All runs for the Centaurs. And now the Sea Kings, the team that hammered the Centaurs. And again, it's number 42, Reese, Christian Reese, like Hernando, getting a nice chunk play.
Wow, they really spread out the defense nicely. They put 4 receivers out there and, you know, let the running back kind of pick his hole, and that time it was off tackle. And again, you could see where he gets the edge. Again, they're going to have to take that away. These backs are real disciplined.
Offensive line doing a wonderful job.
Nice get off. They really get to the second level, get the pads where they need to.
Hernando back in. He gets the handoff off the left side, and he's cut down. That's stellar defensive work from King Berry. The strong safety came up to read the run.
Yeah, he came flying out of nowhere. He played free safety. He came from 12 yards deep. That was one big-time play.
And they needed it because there was gaping holes on the previous plays. That one was plugged up in a hurry. Number 0, though, John Stevens back in the lineup tonight for Lawndale, playing both sides of the ball. He's had a knee issue, and they're thrilled to get him back. 2nd down and 8. Palos Verdes threatening. On the ground, right up the gut. Hernando, touchdown Sea Kings. And didn't they make it look easy?
Not one pass. They got up and down that field pretty quickly, but they're the defending state champs. They've got a proven group of veterans, and they're physical. There's no doubt that's a nice football squad on offense.
The senior, Dominic Hernando, 205 pounds, easily into the end zone.
That's a big kid coming through the line of scrimmage, Randy. It's hard for a 160-pound DB to come up and take a shot at that anywhere above the waist.
Nico Dragon is the placement specialist. Nico's got a strong leg as well, and he drills it through, and it's 7-0 Palos Verdes. We said they were a state champion. You mentioned they were the titleists from a year ago, and they look that part.
They look every bit of it, from how they get off the bus to how they warm up, and then just the way they execute. It's a business-like approach. Now, they're a good established football team. This is Norris Milton's 2nd year at Lawndale. Tremendous improvement from last year. The program's only going to get better. Norris Milton came over here from Hamilton High School. His first coaching assignment was at Crenshaw High School for Robert Garrett.
And Robert's going to be here tonight.
Coach Garrett is here. He's got a 50-yard line seat.
Well, he's royalty. He should get the 50-yard line.
Not only is Milton one of the former coaches, but the offensive coordinator about to take over is Marcus Martin, who played for Garrett, played for USC, played for the 49ers. Crenshaw's finest.
Dragon will be set to kick off yet again. Let me tell you, Palos Verdes made it look so easy. Other than the one play by King Berry coming out of the secondary, there was no resistance from the defense.
The resistance was there. I think what we'll see when Lawndale goes back, they'll crowd the box. They'll bring their safety up. They'll put more people than can be blocked, and they'll force Palos Verdes to throw the ball the next time around. They can't have the safety 12 yards off the field. I'm sure Coach will bring him up on the next possession.
I'm really excited to see the Lawndale Cardinal offense.
The brothers Galvez.
Yeah.
They're going to move the ball.
Said they've been playing together for 10 years. Long kick. There's that strong leg into the end zone. You can't return it in high school football out of the end zone. So you're right. We'll take a look at Julian Galvez, number 9. He's hit 62% of his passes this season. 13 touchdown aerials, only 3 interceptions. Zavi, his brother, wears number 1. He's caught more than anyone on the team, 23 receptions and a couple scores. So brotherly love. We saw the Reese brothers, at least Christian Reese on offense. Weston plays defense for the Sea Kings, and now we're going to see the Galvez brothers. Start with a run, and that's going nowhere. Swarming defense by the Sea Kings, and Christian Reese all over John Stevens. 0. This is Stevens' first real contact of the year. Again, he's been out with that bad knee. They want to try to feature him tonight because he was going to be the guy before the injury.
Well, they give him the ball on the very first play, and I'm sure that Palos Verdes was keying him. They're very stout against the run. They always are, and again, they're in an even front, and they bring a lot of pressure out of it.
First 5 minutes of the game controlled by the Sea Kings. Galvez with the play being blown dead. Boy, he was like a statue back there ready to throw it. But Paul Cummings blew the whistle. Really love this facility. Gorgeous, gorgeous campus here at Lawndale.
We have a dead ball foul. And Crook, defense number 44. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, they were walking guys up for the blitz. They put them up in the gap and got a little too excited, but they're going to bring pressure. They showed it. With an even front, they got 2 really physical and active defensive tackles. I don't see Lawndale doing much in between the tackles. I think getting outside and throwing the balls where they're going to have a nice night.
Second down play. Stevens.
Tempo. Here we go. Right up on the ball.
Lawndale's got athletes. Great speed. Guy Gardner was concerned about the speed. Quarterback handling the ball and slides down.
Outstanding job by that quarterback. Julian on the zone read immediately pulls the ball. When you can make decisions that quickly, you've studied the game. You've done your homework. That was a beautiful zone read keep.
Here are the key players for the Cardinals. Monteveris, outstanding middle linebacker. Campbell, the best lineman. The rest of the guys have already made plays. Galvez to the air. Down that sideline. Looking for Kingberry. Kingberry's
Coach Milton and Marcus together as they walk down the sidelines. That was Coach Milton in red. The 6'6", 330-pound guy, that was Martin. Big call for them on 3rd and 3 right here.
Trying to move the sticks. Galvez got his man. Good throw with that pocket collapsing, and he throws it to his brother. Galvez to Galvez. First down, Cardinals.
Unbelievable. They've been practicing that together probably since they were 4 and 7 years old. That's something you really got to love to see. I'm sure parents, and I know in Youngstown, Ohio, their grandparents are watching the game right now. They're part of our national viewing audience.
Xavi Galvez has tremendous hands, and they think he's elite. He's only a freshman. He's also a 4.0 student. Obviously the younger brother of quarterback Julian Galvez, who's a senior. Pressure, pocket collapsing, thrown away. That heat coming inside. The pressure from Bates, Max Bates, the inside linebacker.
Things I already love about the quarterback are Julian's field awareness. He gets out of the pocket. There's nobody there. He's not going to take a loss. He's not going to get intercepted. He gets to where it's safe, fires the ball out of bounds, lives to play another play, doesn't lose any yardage. Tremendous.
2nd and 10. 7-0 Palos Verdes. Just above 5 minutes to play, opening quarter. Galvez again with that quick pitch and catch to his brother. Galvez to Galvez. Get used to it. It's a theme.
He took a shot on that play. He's limping, and he's going to probably need to come out of play.
Timeout for the moment. There's that pitch and catch from Julian to his young brother, Xavi.
I'm not sure if he rolled his ankle or got his foot stepped on, but it looks like it's a limp, and I know he's going to tough it out. I don't think there's a chance that kid's coming off the field.
How about this weather tonight? We have 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. I don't have my coat on. We're in the South Bay. It's supposed to be cooler here, but I think it's lovely. Not a Bad breeze when we came in. It was gusting a little bit, about 10, 15 miles an hour. But the breeze is gone. Beautiful night.
You got the wind blockers in front of you. You got Gary Martin and Coach Garrett. The wind's not going to hit you back here.
Oh, it's not windy.
You got the biggest O-line on the South Bay right here.
Chuck, all you have to do is look at the flag. It's not hardly moving.
No, my ears are cold.
All right, if you're Lawndale, what are you thinking at this point? You're throwing the ball a lot here early on.
I think he'll keep going in the seam, in the slot, short curls to his brother. You know, Zavi's really a guy who's going to always find the opening, and his brother knows where to find him. But they do have good speed. Hard to get behind a real well-run zone. These kids are super disciplined at Palos Verdes.
And how impressive was that opening drive for the Sea Kings, running it right down the field, right down the throat of the Cardinals, so the Cardinals looking to answer.
Well, we got a backup quarterback in now because I know Julian Galvez is being treated what looks like a knee.
Palos Verdes on defense. And it is the backup quarterback. Actually, it's Wildcat. It's Stevens running with the football, so they went to the Wildcat. So really, you got to remember they're not very deep at quarterback here, and Stevens running that Wildcat play.
Not very smooth in the backfield. He knew all along that was a ball that he was going to carry. But if he's not getting the reps during the week, this is a dangerous set of plays for them to run with right now.
4th down and 2.5. This is a big play for the Cardinals, and they're going to go for it. In plus territory at the 47 of the Sea Kings. And again, Stevens trying to run the football. Leaps forward. I don't think he got there. I think Palos Verdes denied him. Stevens with a wonderful effort, but I think he's going to come up a little bit short. And the ball's going to go over on downs. So a great stop by the Sea Kings defense.
Well, I love the defensive tackle, number 2, Dabe Nwude. He's really a kid who can plug a gap, and he causes a great amount of stress on the point of attack, anything in between the tackle and the center.
So the Sea Kings, after that mighty impressive opening drive, that offense comes back onto the field. That offensive line did great work up front. The likes of Logan Lara and Jake Pekarik, 52 and 55, opening up holes for the running backs in that first drive. And they're back to the ground with Hernando, and this time they're waiting for him. That time the Cardinals swarming through, and they were led by number 44, Tesca Ontiveros, one of the star players on defense.
That was a great play for them to really win between the tackles. They forced them outside and had great contain. And if they can contain that edge, I think they can load the box and change the complexion of what has been a successful Palos Verdes running attack to this point.
This is really a critical set of downs, really, for the defense. They got to show that they can slow down Palos Verdes in that running game. And Hernando again bounces it. He's got first down yardage down the sideline. A terrific run by number 5, Dominic Hernando.
He's a pretty great back, isn't he, Randy? He bounces at the right time. He runs through tackles. He's a good size running back.
Well, they wanted to feature him tonight. Again, Ryan Rakowski, their normal quarterback, out this evening. He runs the ball effectively, so they said this is Hernando's turn, and look at him go on this play.
And great downfield blocking by Kaviani Carlson, the big offensive lineman. He's 15 yards downfield in front of a 210-pound tailback. That's a lot for a 160-pound DB to try and get through.
Still better than 3 minutes to play in this first quarter, and it's been all Palos Verdes.
With a dead ball, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit out of bounds, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's going to take it down to the 16-yard line, Randy.
Well, you're Lawndale, and you're watching this team run the football, and you can ill afford those kind of mistakes. Palos Verdes is going to be inside the 25, inside the 20. They're going to spot it all the way down to the 17. Lawndale here you would think needs to force a turnover to stop them. Again, number 5 there, Dominic Hernando, has been terrific in this opening quarter. They continue to play smash mouth football.
Looks like 15 yards coming back the other way now. A little bit overzealous was Andrew Condello, blocking about 10 seconds after.
That's a reprieve for the Cardinal defense. See if that slows down Palos Verdes. Palos Verdes was beaten a week ago by a very good Lusinger team, which is in Tarek Fatal's top 10. He's got him ranked 10th overall in the entire CIF. And in talking to Guy Gardner, you had this sense, even though he was minus a couple players tonight, he meant business with his football team. He wanted them to execute. That was his number one message. Execute tonight. Don't make mistakes. And in this first quarter, they've done just that.
Yeah, they've gone back to the drawing board. They play one offensive set. They run the ball every play. Defensively, they don't change much. They'll blitz on occasion. But let's go back to basics. Let's block, let's run hard, and let's tackle. And again, this is the second time in 11 plays that they've run out of the same set. 11 out of 11.
Sea Kings looking to overcome that penalty. They still stay on the ground. And again, it's 42 Christian Reese. He's the touchdown maker. Nice to have a second string running back. That would start on a lot of teams.
Good ball protection. Guy throws a lethal forearm with his, he doesn't worry about the straight arm, stiff arm. He just does a forearm rip. Physical running back.
Ebenezer Augustine with the tackle, one of the leaders, a defensive end for Lawndale. 7-0 Palos Verdes, and they're driving down to 2.5 minutes left, opening quarter. 3rd and long. Rare pass attempt. Wide open target. Inside the 10-yard line to Jace DeMoss.
That set on offense with the 3 wide and the H-back really thins out the defense for Lawndale. And the fullback just kind of sneaks out of there, and the H-back, I'm sorry. And
good run after the catch by DeMoss. It's 4th down and 2 to go. Trying to overcome a large deficit in down and distance. With the Sea Kings, they have Hernando, number 5, back in the backfield. Whistle sounds.
It's a great timeout call.
Taken by Lawndale, taken by head coach Norris Milton in his second year. He's already got his team to 4-3.
Timeout of the half.
They were just 2-8 last year, so he's doing a nice job here.
And he did a nice job in that situation. Coach Milton saw that we had an unbalanced line. Power set over here. They were outnumbered by 2 or 3 bodies. And again, if you can't go into the halftime with a competitive game, who cares if you got a timeout saved? Take them when you need them. You know, Lawndale gets the ball to start the second half. Still in the first quarter. So you're thinking, okay, how do we get to a situation where we can keep these guys out of the end zone, or at least go into halftime down a score, because we get the ball to even it up. I love the staff. I feel like these guys would, by being over here, it's a real shot to the LA City section, LAUSD, to lose great coaches, young coaches like Norris Milton and Marcus Martin. I mean, it's, you know, you're talking about guys who, city guys.
Lawndale looking to be stout here on this 4th down play. Ball's on the ground. They were looking for a turnover, and it apparently is a turnover, and it is taken in. The recovery by Travion Kendrick.
Big play by the sophomore. Way to jump on that ball, young man.
Oh, that was much needed for Lawndale.
And we're excited about that. We wanted to see a great ball game, and that helps. I'm glad to see Julian Galvez running back on the field. I told you he was tough. I'm surprised he sat out 2 plays.
Christian Reese is the one that lost the handle and able to get it back. It's going to be a very long field for Lawndale, but they're down 7-0. Could have been 14-0 very easily. See number 14 come up with the football. So that sideline a little bit more energized. Let's see if they can move it again. They had some success in the first series of downs. Zero Stevens back in. He's the deep back in the end zone. And he takes the handoff, and he's met immediately. This could be a safety. I don't know that he got out of the end zone. They haven't indicated it yet. They want that safety. I think they're going to give him. Are they going to give him the forward progress or not? Nope, it is a safety. 2 points for Palos Verdes. What a great defensive play by Show Moses, number 25.
That is one strong junior. Great frame, 6'1", 190. He hit him up top and just drove him back. Wouldn't give an inch.
Show Murakami Moses, but he goes by just Show. And Show put on a show for us.
Well, that's the show. I got a granddaughter named Shosh. We got Shohei Ohtani, and we're here doing the show. Coach Milton not happy with the fight on that play, obviously. Probably wanted him to get lower his shoulder, and just get a couple of yards. Almost like a goal line sneak.
That builds the lead to 9-0, and that excitement just moments ago from Lawndale taken away by the great play by number 25, Show Murakami Moses.
Well, I know you hate this, Randy, but we got a shout out right now to the grandparents of our quarterback, Julian Galvez. Let them know Julian is okay. Dave and Linda King, Youngstown, Ohio, your grandkids are doing it.
Why would I dislike that? I think that's great that you got a shout out.
Yeah, we're popular because we'll shout out anybody.
Well, a shout out to the Palos Verdes defense. Getting that play made by Show there for the 2 points on the safety, and they'll get the football back. Cameron Hughes, number 8. Again, he's dangerous. Great speed, trying to reverse the field and get loose. Eludes one, turns the corner, and up the sideline he goes, and looked like he might have got hit late as well. And the flag is out.
Yeah, they got a penalty back at the initial spot of the return on the far sidelines. I think these are going to offset. Just not sure how they're going to mark them. One was dead ball.
A lot of laundry on the field. Paul Cummings is a good official. He'll sort this out for us.
Do you think so?
I do. Well, CIF Southern section football tonight. First 3 games in the package were in the city section. We saw Crenshaw look great against Cleveland. We saw another Cardinal football team from Santa Paula go to Narbonne and win. And we also had a very talented Southgate team take down Legacy.
Something about LA City football, the way the game is presented. We show up here, Lawndale High School, it's like a college campus. Everything is open, everything is ready, everybody knows the drill. People couldn't be friendlier, the administration, the facilities. It's a nice change of pace. You know, we love the city because we want to give them that help. And we want to give them that recognition. They should want to take it.
We have multiple fouls on the kicking team. We have a live ball. Unsportsmanlike, fighting. Number 8, he is ejected from the game. We have a dead ball. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. That penalty will be declined. Only one is enforced.
Well, if I interpreted that right, it was Christian Stevens. Let's see what he did. He got ejected after the run.
Well, he definitely got pancaked, and I'm sure he got up and said something. They said he got thrown out for fighting. I don't think I saw much of a fight.
Well, Mel Ware to the kicker is the one that ran him down out of bounds. Well, here comes the Palos Verdes offense back on, and they're at point-blank range here, Chuck.
They're right there knocking on the door. I think the last time down, the fumble had to get the ire of coach, but to turn it into 2 points on the very next play and now be back at the 18-yard line, they'll convert. Actually, 21-yard line. I'm not looking at it correctly.
First down. 5 is back in there. Dominic Hernando. Again, they said they would lean on him with Rakowski out. They've done just that in the first quarter.
You see, Randy, we're watching, we're looking at it. They got a safety 12 yards off the ball, and he's not guarding anybody. I'd love to see them walk him up and have him stop run.
Quarterback still has it. Run pass option. That's a good throw. There's Boyd. We've been waiting for Morley. There's a flag out. Good catch on that far sideline. He was out of bounds, so it's ruled incomplete. And the marker's out.
Holding. Offense, number 77.
That's Charlie Graver, 6'2", 260-pounder up front. He's big enough. He doesn't need to hold, does he?
Maybe we got to watch that again. Maybe he needs to move his feet better, Randy. He certainly's got the size advantage.
Good throw here and a good catch, but unfortunately it's wiped out.
Yeah, it was a takedown from behind. I don't think it was a hold. It was a tackle. And he probably was beaten, but I don't think he needed to pay much attention there after that.
Morley Boyd was the leading receiver on this Palos Verdes team last year when they won the state title, and it was his stated goal. I want to get to at least 1,000 yards, and he's at 600 so far, and still a number of games left. He certainly could get to 1K. Good look at this quarterback, number 12, Giorgio Damasio.
Boy, he got numbers in the box every play here.
And trips to the left for Damasio. He's going back to the right. So everybody was loaded up to the left side, and he turns around and he throws the football to Show Moses, who made that sterling defensive play.
Well, they gave 15 offensive plays to let him get his feet wet under center or behind center. And now the butterflies are gone. Let him throw some balls and let him throw to the sidelines. Not the easiest play to make. Good debut for a young quarterback.
Jace DeMoss, number 11, back in. He brought in the play from the sideline. Second down, 16. Hernando. Stonewall, nowhere to go for Dominic. They were waiting for him. Excellent defensive effort by Jacob Gomez, the defensive end, number 33.
And that looked like Torian Campbell really blew up the blocking in between the tackles. We give everybody a nickname.
You got one for Torian?
He's my fridge. Look at him.
Well, the fridge can go eat now because we're done with the first quarter. 9-0 Palos Verdes. Back after this. Tonight's LA36 football game of the week is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. I love the Cardinal mascot.
Coach Milton out there at center field, midfield, receiving a check. Maybe he's giving the check.
I know you really believe in him, and you think he's going to get it done here.
No doubt in my mind. His first coaching experience was at Crenshaw under Coach Robert Garrett. That had to be really a great place to start. He went to Hamilton. That's a good-sized check for Lawndale High School football. Very good to see. But he ended up at Hamilton in an LA City school with an administration that really doesn't support football the way they should. They've got some of the greatest football players in city history. It's an opportunity for Coach Milton right there this was a great move for him. You know, when you can move to a great school district and the one that really supports the kids and supports football, I'm happy for him. He's going to do great things here. No doubt in my mind.
He really will. He really like the foundation that he started to build. Again, they were 2-8 a year ago. He's got them to 4-3. The Bay League's another story. He called it the Southeastern Conference of this area. I mean, it's big-time football. They're probably going to go back to a lesser division in years to come, maybe like the Pioneer League, something like that, and they'll be way more competitive. But he's got them playing hard football, and they're in the games, at least, in a very, very tough Bay League.
The league is crazy tough. What I like about Milton is he doesn't back down. He's got tremendous amount of pride, but what he does have is he's got the kids believing in him. He's got a great offensive coordinator in Marcus Martin, and what they're doing on defense, they're young, and they're young going against the defending state champion team who's probably 2 divisions better than Lawndale right now on paper. Paper, experience, continuity.
Well, give Palos Verdes some credit here. The disappointment last week, they come out with that statement drive running the football right down the field and getting the touchdown from Christian Rees. That was an impressive drive. Hernando did a lot of the work, and Rees finished it off.
You could see their pregame warm-up. You could see their attention to detail. If you want to see the very true essence of an extremely well-coached, disciplined squad, watch Palos Verdes on every play.
Damasio looking to throw the football. Winding up, has a wide open target. It's Boyd. There he is. Morley Boyd. Touchdown, Sea Kings.
Quarterback, for an inexperienced guy, does a beautiful job. Rolls out, does a great pump fake, turns Boyd up the sidelines, and nobody thinks the rookie quarterback with 3 throws under his belt's going deep. But you throw to that guy, odds are in your favor.
Not only he was open by 15 yards. There was no one around him, not a soul in the area.
When you're Norris Milton and you play against a team like this, you are going to become a better coach every week. This is a well-coached team. This is a program that is spectacular. They're a defending state champ.
Dragons point after, and it's perfect. 16-0. 11:53 left, opening half. Palos Verdes flexing its muscles. This is just gorgeous.
He gets everybody looking on the short out with the pump fake and the roll, and that's not a guy you can take your eye off of. Hey, rides, pump, boom. You can't throw it any better. They say next man up, and he's ready.
You know, it's interesting. Sometimes that's the hardest ball to throw when you have a receiver out there by himself.
It's like throwing the ball back to the pitcher when you're a catcher. The guy's just standing there. He's a few feet away, and the pressure's on. It's a free throw. Great job. Love watching great football, and I'm excited to be at Lawndale because what did you and I say? These guys are going to go from 2 wins to 6 wins to 8 wins, and at Lawndale, and I'm glad we're here for the building part of it.
Well, both these teams coming in are 4-3. But with that pass from Damasio, this is a Palos Verdes team that is really ready to go tonight as 83 has it teed up again. Nico Dragon. How do you like that name, Dragon?
Well,
I love it.
It's good. He's a fire-breathing dragon.
I knew you were going to
get it. You know, like Puff the Magic Dragon, and I won't go there, but we'll go other places.
Nico advancing on the ball. There's that strong leg again, and through the end zone, another touchback. Well, Lawndale needs to mount a drive. They had a very good first series of downs, moved it out across the 50, then they stalled.
Well, they stalled because they lost their quarterback, and then they stalled because they lost a half yard on first down, and that was a safety. So this will be their second real shot at it, and let's put some points on the board here, Cardinals.
Well, Cardinals have Julian Galvez, number 9, back in there. He's healthy. Shaken up earlier. He's a tough young man. Pressured. Well, no matter how tough you are, you can't take those kind of hits. He is blasted, hit down hard, driven to the turf by Weston Reese, 44.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this one again. And he got put out of the game last year on a very similar play against Palos Verdes.
(16-0) Sea Kings pitching a shutout in this first half. And they are mighty impressive. They look like last year's team that won the state title.
And not a lot of weaknesses in their game.
Well, Galvez needs a big play. Quick one to the near side, and the ball's out and out of bounds, fortunately, for the Cardinals. Last thing you want to do is turn it over. We're very fortunate because Travis Tomorrow was right there. He would have picked it up and run it back for Palos Verdes had it not gone out of bounds.
Yeah, Oliver Betts, number 40, comes off the edge. He's a handful. He's a load. He really knows how to take the shortest point between the edge to the quarterback. He's a nuisance for Julian Galvez.
Let's see if Julian can come up with some magic here. He's going to need to. Third and very long. The offensive line hold up. That's the question. Pressure again. And nearly intercepted. That could have been brought back for a Jakubik touchdown. Nick Jakubik, 27, darting in front of Zavi. And that very well could have been an interception. Galvez looks back. He knows that could have gone the other way. Tremendous pressure up front.
Yeah, that's just great defense on the corner right there. One thing is when you're a quarterback who's not 6 foot and you've got to see over your line, and then you've got somebody right in your face and you want to get rid of the ball quick. I mean, the ball was on the money, thrown at the right time. That corner had a great break. It's not going to surprise me if we don't see much more of Julian Galvez tonight.
Ben McGovern was the one that really put the heat on. Ryan Pierce is the punter. That's a good kick, but it is returnable.
Great
Boyd
coverage.
looking to get away and can't. And you're right, the coverage was excellent.
What a wonderful job by Elijah Purvis Johnson on that. Got great open field tackle. That's one of the harder tackles to make in football. Beautiful job.
Well, again, the Sea Kings are set up beautifully at the 49 of Lawndale.
You had a feeling the game could go this way. But the one thing I'm surprised with right now is the amount of pressure they're able to get on Galvez. I knew they'd move the ball. I knew they'd be disciplined, but that pressure up front's phenomenal.
Again, they're pumped up after losing to Losing, or they don't lose very many games, and they don't want to lose back-to-back games. Here's another fine run. Hernando, again with a big hole. Stevens brings him down, but deep in the secondary, that moves the sticks again, and Palos Verdes is rolling.
Hernando is extremely patient. He lets things develop. He balls of his feet are close together. The minute he sees that daylight, he's gone. A great zone runner. Really a discipline, an art form.
First down, 37-yard line. This time to the air. This one is picked off, going back the other way. Two turnovers for Travion Kendrick. He's the one who recovered the fumble. Travion's got the interception.
I think I see a flag, and I sure hope that they're just going to pick it up and call it on something that I didn't see. Because if they call pass interference on this play, I'm going to be pretty upset. You know, I'm critical of the officials. I'm going to have to take a look at this one again, but I think this is a blown call.
Well, it's going to be heartbreaking if it is against Lawndale after the interception return. Officials are conferring. They deliberate. We'll get the verdict from our lead official, Paul Cummings, tonight. He's wearing that white hat. Too many flags in this first half, and it's been the one hindrance here for Palos Verdes, but other than that, they've been terrific.
Holding. Defense. Before the pass.
That one stings. takes away the turnover, sets up Palos Verdes.
Yeah, I got to tell you what, I didn't see it live, and I certainly don't see it there, but what I see is a horrific penalty call.
Boy, that could have changed the complexion of this first half. It would have set up Lawndale where they were in a position to get on the board. Instead, Palos Verdes is deep in Lawndale territory.
I would love to see some more accountability for these referees, just to be able to throw a flag like that. It didn't seem fair.
Chuck, relax. I know you're upset about that one.
Well, you know, we talked about it in the very first game, and regardless of the score, you don't make up penalties.
Now we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So whatever you believe, that sideline of Lawndale believes, because they're barking.
Yeah, well, you don't. I'm not allowed to be critical, and obviously the coach got.
Well, you're
kicked.
allowed to be critical.
Yeah, it was a horrible call.
But how do you really feel?
You know, but Randy, you know, if you have to throw a flag on a penalty that's not there, maybe you shouldn't be doing this.
That'll take it even closer.
After the play, we have a dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Lawndale bench. A 50 penalty is also going to be enforced. The resulting yardage is a first down.
Yeah, you know how they feel. They have the interception taken away. They don't like the call. They bark from the sideline. They're hit with another ticket. So now they're penalized after what they believe was an incorrect call. So we'll forget that for the moment. Let's give Palos Verdes all the credit in the world, and they're set up beautifully. Looking to build the advantage. Already up 16 are the Sea Kings. Plays blown dead.
My case is being made for me. Not a very good performance by the Stripes tonight.
The dead ball foul. False start. Offense.
That's not a good makeup call. The chains weren't even set. So they're losing control of a game by the calls that they make. They're more concerned about the coaches and the side game than actually doing their job and getting the chains lined up, getting the game to go on schedule.
First and 15. Still 10 minutes left in the first half. As you can see, Palos Verdes up by 16 points. Hernando.
Great hole at the point of attack. He didn't have to be patient. That just opened up right off the gate.
But he got to the point of attack in a hurry, and that's what you love about a running back. He saw the hole, and boom, he was gone.
Maybe one of the best running backs we've seen this year. I would put him right up there.
Yeah, he's talented. There's little question about that. Again, they wanted to feature him this evening. Came in with 290 yards, averaging 4.4, and that average is certainly being boosted tonight. Here's Hernando again, and he walks in. Touchdown, Dominic Hernando. Touchdown, Palos Verdes.
And another flag.
Probably for celebrating.
Well, he did a hurdle in the end zone, so he's going to get called for unsportsmanlike.
Now, I think, and again, I don't like that. I think you should be able to celebrate as long as you don't flaunt it in the face of the opponent.
He's a great football player. There was nothing
Play.
horrible about
We have
that.
a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Number 5. That 15-yard penalty can be enforced on the try or the kick.
See, I don't like that call. So
Neither do I. It's not like I have a team, a horse in this race. I just want to see them let these guys play.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Number 5. Offense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Dominic, we support you. We like your celebration.
I don't mind your celebration, and all I mind is that if you give a ref a mic, he's got to have rules.
Here's your point after attempt coming from Nico Dragon, who's been busy. Lead is 22, looking to be 23-0. Glad you're with us on LA36 and the NFHS network. That one's driven through. 23 zip right now. And Palos Verdes certainly the better team, and they've been fortunate on some of these calls as well.
He gets in there, he does a little I'm excited hurdle, and I don't get it. I've seen a lot worse.
First of all, you can make the case he's hurdling to get to the end zone.
Oh.
Well, so what? I mean, he's celebrating. He was looking completely away from the field. They were to his back. Again.
Yeah, he was looking directly at Best Buy and TJ Maxx. You're right. That should not have been a flag.
Well, it's close enough he could go over to Best Buy. By the way, we're right next to the 405. You know, in previous games, we were struggling to find the 710 to get home, but I can see the 405. I easily can get back to the 405. It's what?
You don't know
500 yards from here?
I am so relieved right now knowing that after the game, you're going to get on the freeway and not have to text me. That's a relief.
I don't have to use my phone to get back. Just go down Marine to Inglewood, make a right onto the freeway. We're good.
My wife's parents are watching this game tonight. That excites me. They don't watch football. Aggie and Fred, Santa Monica. Welcome to the show.
Aggie and Fred?
Yeah, my wife Stacy, that's her mom Aggie and her husband Fred. And come on, I'm spending Friday night with the family. It's like a Shabbat dinner at Lawndale Field.
Long kickoff. Oh my goodness, Chuck Price, Mr. Personality. Here's the return, and there he goes down the sideline. Jaden Beard is on his way. Jaden Beard has a touchdown for the Cardinals.
I just love that the kids are excited. I feel like that was coming to them, and they may have more in them. Great job, Lawndale. Way to fight. Way to fight.
To say that was needed is a classic understatement. Life for Lawndale.
I mean, the analytics say it's a two-score game when you put this conversion through. They get the ball to start the second half. We're good.
Still have 9-11 left in the first half. And there's Beard. The fans and the cheerleaders love it here on homecoming.
And I say we because it's LA36 and Lawndale's the LA team. We're home coverage. We respect Palos Verdes beyond belief because they're a fantastic program. And you can't mention that enough, but we're here for the kids. The kids from the city are the kids we're here to cover.
Well, again, Huerta's normally automatic on these kicks. Very strong leg. Good snap, placed down. And you can see that strength as he drives it between the posts.
Well, it actually hit one of the posts and bounced its way through. That's how hard he drove it.
Still counts as one, doesn't it?
Yeah, but when you get the billiard shots, you got to call it. I see it too. That's the way to even up the score.
That's the Beard. Look at the touchdown run of Jaden Beard. How about that move?
Good move on probably what was the kicker. Really one great block at the point of attack. I think the takeaway on this is going to be a lot of film review there for Palos Verdes. That was too big of a hole. Great job, though. Escorts downfield, not blocking behind the ball. Let's one more time. Oh, that's a nice move.
And it was Dragon, the kicker, that missed him. And nice pictures from our LA36 crew.
Yeah, they are good. I dress down the crew. Those guys are great.
Well, getting set to kick off is Huerta. Some excitement here. We have a 23-7 first half. Palos Verdes leading.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Lawndale go into a goal line defense, man up, use your athletes, and make them throw.
This one is returnable. But he was in the end zone, so it's going to be a touchback.
Yeah, when
that's another rule I don't like. I think you should be able to return it from the end zone, but I know it's a safety rule.
We don't see a lot of games where the balls don't automatically start at the 40 when they're kicked out of bounds every time. But I realize that the rule is absolutely, doesn't matter where the ball carrier is. If the ball is over the end line, it's a dead ball. Can't be taken out.
Been 4 games in this package. This is our second homecoming. Remember, we had the homecoming at Cleveland when Crenshaw went in there and stormed its way past the Cavaliers, but that was a festive evening as well.
Yeah, I love high school football, and this is really it. It's a good high school football environment.
Back to the ground game with Hernando. High stepping as he goes to the 25. Dominic Hernando, he's seen that football throughout the evening. He's been toting it and toting it well.
My coaching days are long behind me, and it's great to second guess when you're up here. But with that kind of running back, I really would love to see them in some sort of a goal line look, man up with the athletes that they have, and force Palos Verdes to throw the ball. They're going to be successful, but lengthen the game. Make them throw incomplete passes.
Hernando cutting it back to the middle of the field. Strong run, still on his feet. Breaking tackles across the 50. A straight arm. He put the straight arm on Nathan Williams and runs out of bounds. What an effort by Dominic Hernando. This running back is sensational. There is a marker out. We've had way too many of those in the first half.
Play. We have a dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike. Number 11. 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run.
That's Chase DeMoss, and you can see how disappointed Morley Boyd was with his teammate. He couldn't believe the penalty there, but it goes against Chase. And as you can see, this effort is phenomenal.
And 11 does a great job coming downfield to block. I think he probably puts somebody on their back towards the end of the run, but then gets real mouthy about it and doesn't just walk away, walks back to his huddle. No, he wants to let somebody know he put him on the ground. I'm happy with that flag.
So now you like the officials?
No, that'll be a teaching tool for coach. Make your play and go back to the huddle. We don't need to hear you celebrate.
Another run. On a night, Shohei Ohtani has hit 3 homers. Dodgers are closing in, by the way, as we do our game on the.
Randy, I don't know if that was number 0, John Stevens.
It was.
That was a great hit.
He's a football player. You know, the reason I bring up the Ohtani thing with the 3 homers, you predicted that. You told me before the game he'd win the game pitching, and he's leading. It's a 5-1 score as we talk. And he hit 3 homers. How'd you know that?
And you asked me, how do you know those things? I'm like, sometimes it just hits me.
You're clairvoyant. Here's a strong run out across the 45. That's been the difference in the two teams, the ability of this Palos Verdes team to really move the line of scrimmage and get their running backs down the field.
I think what I told you was Shohei was going to get the win, hit 3 home runs, and they are going to win by 7 runs.
Well, you're short on that so far. We're not short here. Palos Verdes with a 23-7 lead, working on the clock down to 7 minutes. Is it me, or has this been a slow running clock tonight?
The clock is slow and the refs are not helping the cause.
7 minutes, but we love it. It's prep football, and that's what it's all about on this evening as Reese runs to the outside, driving it with that shoulder. A good run, a solid run by Christian Reese.
I love the aggressiveness on that defensive play. I love to see the linebackers coming. It doesn't look like the run fit was perfect. They left a little bit of seam there, and obviously the running back found it. But I think you could apply that pressure, and I think you can cause turnovers. If you just sit back there and take it, this is not like Joe Frazier. You can't rope a dope against Palos Verdes.
Well, that was Muhammad Ali that did the roping.
To Foreman. Was it Foreman or Frazier? Who did he do it to?
He did it to Foreman.
Yeah. These guys are, not Foreman, and that's not Ali, but you got to make them throw the ball.
Another run for Hernando. Another big chunk play. Another first down as he drags the pile. Dominic Hernando.
With the quarterback out and with Flowers out, this is what they have to do, because this is going to be their identity to make a playoff run. we like what we see out of the young quarterback, but when they go against a stiffer playoff competition, they're going to have to run the ball, play action, boot, get the fullback, the H-back into the pattern like they did on their first drive.
By the way, Guy Gardner didn't want to talk about the playoffs. Didn't want to even address it. He says, we need to get better. We're 4-3 right now. I know we won the state championship last year, but it's about us getting better week to week. The playoffs will take care of themselves down the road. Now they're going back to the air. There's another touchdown reception. What a catch by Cameron Hughes. I guess he didn't get thrown out of the game. Remember they said number 8 got tossed? He didn't.
It was number 8 for Lawndale. He got tossed, and he's out of the game.
Yeah, well, number 8 is Cameron Hughes of Palos Verdes. So he's got a touchdown. What a catch that was. And they've been able to beat the secondary of Lawndale.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play call and an even better throw. What a thing of beauty. It's fun watching this type of football program. Next guy not only can step up and do the job, I mean, that's a money ball. It's a 35-yard touchdown pass on the money.
Nico Dragon back out there looking for the 30th point of the half. No problem. 30-7. The visitors from Palos Verdes leading. And we still have nearly 6 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, watch this again. It's zone coverage. I think they're in a 3-deep zone, and its cornerback just kind of sits flat-footed and lets that guy run right by him. I mean, Hughes is a big body. He's got good speed. And if you're playing the corner in a 3-deep zone, you get back until you're the deepest guy on the field. It doesn't seem like they were playing man coverage, and that's just flat out falling asleep. And the type of thing that when they go look at film tomorrow morning or Monday morning, it's a great teaching tool. Remember, every time you play a team that's this well coached, this fundamentally sound, you have to get better from it. And that's the beauty of being in a league like this.
Kickoff coming for Palos Verdes. Well, they're a solid football team. And again, when people talk about the Sea Kings, they talk about how fundamentally sound they are. And we've seen that today. Their execution level on both sides of the line of scrimmage has been terrific. Offensively, they've been outstanding. Great running attack. They've been just overpowering offensively. Here's a return. Once again, it's Beard. He had that touchdown before, but this time they're able to spy him. No, he's going to bring it back and drive him down. Excellent tackle from Travis Tomorrow.
That kickoff coverage did not want to give one up again. That was absolutely the antithesis of what they did last time. The opposite. Great coverage. Everybody flying down. Terrific lane integrity. Let's see Julian Galvez now. Let's get this field driven. I got a good feeling Coach Martin's going to call a great drive here.
And he'd like to stick one in before halftime to give his team some life for the second half. Have a timeout taken before the drive.
Lawndale, 3rd and 5.
The final timeout. Still have plenty of time, but they won't have any timeouts remaining. 5:39 left.
They could have 2 possessions in 5 minutes and 39 seconds. I think the key is to pick up some first downs, and we always talk about it. Momentum going into the locker room because you get the ball to start the second half. I know we don't want to talk about our upcoming schedule. We got a couple things lined up. Would sure love to get back on the LA City section. Not 100% certain what the change of heart was to not cover this. It was an unbelievable setup for the kids. All the coaches loved it. I think we put the city section in a great light. And we talked about that last week of the season, the 30th and the 31st. I think the 31st, Venice and Hamilton's an unbelievable game. And the 30th, San Pedro Carson, that's 2 of the top 3 teams in the city.
That's going to be for the Marine League Championship, too. Yeah. No running game at all for Lawndale, and not a chance Trying to tote the football upfield is E.J. Baker. He's had some success this year, averaging 5 yards a carry. He scored 3 TDs on the ground. Baker, number 5.
Yeah,
E.J. Baker.
I was looking at Palos Verdes before the game and looking at some of their kids, and the one guy that stood out to me was their defensive end, and he's only a sophomore. Number 85, Douglas Stewart. He's opposite edge. He's over on our side right here. Stand-up defensive end.
And it's Baker. He's bouncing it, but he's run down nicely by Chase DeMoss, number 11.
And again, that's the kind of edge control you really want to see. Bounced it once, bounced it twice, but there's somebody to always keep him from getting outside the coverage.
Lawndale needs to convert here. It's 3rd down at 7. They don't want to give the football back to Palos Verdes. Still better than 4 minutes to play in the half. Randy Roseblum, Chuck Price, Cardinal Field, Cardinal Stadium, Lawndale, California. CIF Southern Section football, and the ball's on the ground. It was covered up by Lawndale. It's not the clean exchange that they wanted. Julian Galvez, the quarterback, found the football, but it's 4th down, and they are indeed going to have to relinquish it. And indeed, Palos Verdes is going to get it back. Well, Julian knew he lost the handle and wisely went back to get it and fell on the ball.
When things start to unravel on a high school football team, sometimes it's hard to reverse it. And
the kick is blocked. So the specialty team gets in the act. And another score. Taking it in for Palos Verdes is Nathan Peterson.
And just like I was saying, reversing that trend of negativity and keeping positive and not thinking big picture. It's every kid thinking, what is my responsibility?
Let's take a look at that block.
3 guys get in there untouched, and that's just not acceptable. To get by the front line, maybe, but then to get beyond a personal protector.
And it was Peterson, 41, that recovered it. Now it's a point after attempt. Looking for the 37th point of this first half for Palos Verdes. They've just poured it on here, and like I said, the specialty team gets in the act with that block and touchdown. And we have a 38. No, it's a 37-7 score. 37-7.
Oh, well, I don't want to check our out-of-town scoreboard, but the thing that I'm hearing right now is, no, I'm going to get another look at that one more time. Just not a lot of protection for him. I don't think it took him excessively long to get rid of the ball, but you know, 3 guys get in there untouched, and if you can get 6 yards penetration, the punter's stepping up 1.5 yards, you're right there. Either got to get rid of the ball immediately, but you can't let people seep through the middle. Murrieta Valley went to Corona Centennial tonight. 14 all at half.
Okay. Again, those are 2 football teams that are 6-1. Most people think Corona Centennial is the stronger team because they had the earlier season victory over Mater Dei, but Murrieta Valley is a very good team.
Bear Bachmeyer, freshman player of the year at college football.
You think the BYU quarterback?
We'll see. Yeah, and he came from Murrieta Valley. We'll see tomorrow. They play Utah, big game in Provo.
It is, and he had the comeback win last week against Arizona. Bear didn't have a great game, but when it counted, he pulled it out.
And he doesn't care. They just want the W.
Yep, he's a great young player.
Yeah, I heard he was an unbelievable teammate, and there's no doubt he's going to lead BYU to a lot of wins.
Again, he did have a stellar career at Murrieta Valley. Another kickoff for the Sea Kings. Well, perhaps Jaden Beard can bring back another one. Well, again, they storm down the field and blow up the play. Poor Jaden that time didn't have a chance.
You know, we're here for Lawndale and Coach Milton and
in
this
fact,
school.
that was King Barry that tried to bring it back.
And, you know, the only thing you could say is when you play a team that's a defending state champ, they're so well coached, And these kids just play so ridiculously hard and disciplined football that this is what you gain. You look across the field and they just don't, other than that fumble on the goal line, which they atone for, they make tackles, they don't miss tackles. And I firmly believe Lawndale will be that team in a few years.
During the return, the top 18 on the return team. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal.
Carmelo Mills Foster with the penalty.
What was the penalty on that? I heard it was a little bit of...
I believe it was a block in the back. Another long field, no timeouts left, 3:30 left. I guess you got to be careful here to turn it over, but you're down 30, so why not air it out, I guess, huh?
Yeah, there's no reason to play conservative. You need to do what you think you could do to move the ball, and they're getting manhandled up front. Great pressure off the edge. You got a quarterback who's been getting smacked around.
There's Sho Moses, 25. Sho Murakami Moses has been brilliant on defense tonight, and he's after the quarterback again, and with a long pass to the near sideline. Not quite there, but a good effort. And it'll be second down and 10.
A nice ball.
Wanted Kingberry.
Yeah, great coverage, but a great ball. Nice play call. If it hits, you look good, and you still got a clock stoppage if you want to keep trying to get points on the board before the half, and I think you need to.
Kingberry's a good place to target it. He averages 20 yards a catch when he brings them in.
It's a perfectly placed ball, and I'm glad they're throwing. I think you got to show, hey, we're trying to score. We're not going to fold back.
There's a run inside with some success there.
A great tackle, wasn't that? You see it, you feel it, you hear it.
That might have been the hardest run of the night for Stevens, but you can see he's hobbled.
That was one heck of a hit. And I didn't get a number on that train that hit him, but
you got to feel bad for John Stevens. He's out all season with the knee. He finally gets rehabbed and back in there. He gets a nice run there, and he's hobbling off the field. He's just been plagued by the injury bug.
Yeah, I'd like to get a number, but it might have been Sho again, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, 25 on defense. Young man in white has been all over the football field. 2:45, and the clock is running. Another one up the middle. This one breaks. There's the ability of Lawndale. They got some speed. They have athletes. That was Whitehurst running the football. Number 30, Whitehurst, his first carry, and he ran it up the field beautifully, didn't he?
He had a nice hole, and he didn't hesitate to hit it.
Maki Whitehurst.
And you didn't really think much of it, but the DB, Nick Jakubik, number 27, comes up. Really a sure tackle downfield, low, crisp. Great job.
Another deep one. Berry with a magnificent try. Kingberry. Oh, what an effort along that near sideline. Sprawling for the football. It's a near miss, but you gotta love this attempt by the King.
Yeah, take a look at the replay. A great throw, a great catch. If he gets that toe in. Nope. Wasn't even that close. Great defense. I think if he doesn't get hit while he's in the air, he might fight to get that foot down. But what a beautiful catch.
Well, they're going to the King right now. There's the young man that was trying to defend him there. Nick Jakubik has an interception this year for the Sea Kings.
Yeah, they're picking on Nick. He's
PV.
the guy.
Well, PV's still want to get the football back. They take a timeout here with just above 2 minutes left. By the way, there's no 2-minute timeout in high school football. We have it in college and the pros, but not in the prep game.
So there's Milton, Coach Milton in the huddle, and Big Marcus. Big Marcus played at Crenshaw. He was an all-city player on a back-to-back championship team. Starting center at USC, starting center for the San Francisco 49ers. Big guy, one of LA City's finest, and you know, Coach Milton's young. He's been at Hamilton 5 or 6 years. Prior to this, his second year here. He'll coach for 40 years. He's got a great young family, loves football. I enjoyed when he was at Hamilton. One of those schools where it's just not about the coaches and football enough.
And these are teachable moments. You're down 30 points. You, in all probability, are not going to come back and win the football game, but you want to improve. We heard it from Guy Gardner on his side. Get better each week at Palos Verdes. Same thing at Lawndale. They're a young football team. They've experienced some success. Now they're running up against a state championship team. And you could see the difference here, and they have to learn. It's a good measuring stick on getting better. Hard run again. You got to love this effort. That is just a beautiful run by Whitehurst.
We talk about momentum going into the locker room. This is it. Move the chains, move the ball, and know that you could do it in the second half. I just mentioned your Dodgers, Randy, advancing to the World Series.
Well, again, when Ohtani hits 3 homers, you should win. And they did. So
don't most teams get that out of their starting pitcher?
Yeah. Here's a long one down the sideline, and it's nearly picked off. A flag is out. Great effort again defensively by Travis Tomorrow. He's another guy that's had a good first half, but we'll see what the hanky is all about.
This is going to be a makeup call, I believe, because there was no penalty on that play either way. There you go.
Lawndale will take the interference.
And I'm glad. It just thought that it evens it out.
Oh, now you love the official.
No, I think you have to make good on a bad, and that's what they did here. Whoa. Again. That's pretty perfect coverage. The ball don't lie. Neither does the replay.
No, there was no interference there.
Yeah, well, that was the makeup call.
15 yards, by the way.
If you were looking at Marcus Martin all game long.
I can't look to him. He's too big a body. But that's a 15-yard penalty going the other way, inside the 30. We'll put the ball. We'll spot it at the 29, and you see that marker come out.
If he tells me I owe him one, I'm throwing that flag. I'm okay with that call.
It's 37-7.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the deep ball and the release from Galvez. A lot of kids would not put themselves back in the game. He's a toughie.
They've gotten some positive yardage running the football on this drive. And that's been the difference to set up the pass. They've been able to balance their attack.
That was Whitehurst. I love the way he runs.
He runs hard, no question about it. Another deep ball. Knocked away. Stevens on defense as the ball was intended for Beard. (37-7). You can see we're down to 50 seconds. Cardinals looking to get it in the end zone before the break. Go into the locker room with a positive thought. Their one touchdown was a kick return by Jaden Beard, who was electric on that play when he brought it back.
Nice down to run the ball.
Galvez in the final minute. Deflected away and incomplete. Wanted his brother, Xavi Galvez. There he is. Just a freshman. And when you talk to the coaching staff here, they just adore this young man. They think he's going to be great. Very high ceiling.
Yeah, Xavi and Julian's going to hit him with tonight. Man, you should have caught that ball. They probably won't sleep tonight. They'll be, I imagine them in bunk beds going at it all night. You should have caught that pass, Xavi.
Well,
he threw it too hard.
They're going to set up for the field goal. He's hit it from 50, remember, against Mary Starr. Down by 30. Just want to, again, make sure you score before the break. So it's a 45-yard attempt. He's got the leg. I believe it's close. Did it get over? Nope. Not quite enough.
Beautiful attempt on what was probably a pretty sloppy snap. Holder did a great job getting it down. Threw off the timing, and he still just missed by a yard or two.
When he first hit it, it looked like it was going to be good. Looked like it was going to get there, but it just stalled. Let's take another look at that. You're right, the holder does a terrific job. You can see it's on its way. It looks perfect from here, and not quite enough.
Yeah, it's a tough job being a long snapper in high school. You just don't really get the work regularly, and to do it in a pressure situation, nothing you do upside down is easy. You know, snapping the ball's got to be one of them.
You mentioned long snapper. The quarterback at Palos Verdes, Giorgio Damasio, is their long snapper. So you have a quarterback who's the long snapper. You don't see that very often, do you?
We saw it back in the early 80s. A guy at Hamilton named Chuck Price did it.
I don't remember him. Is he related to you? Here's a run up the middle. Of course, it is the same Chuck Price.
Yeah.
Played for the Yankees. Didn't you play with Warren Moon?
No, I was his ball boy. I played with Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker.
I'm kidding you, I know. But you were the ball boy when Warren was there, huh?
Yeah, I was all league.
As a ball boy?
I was the all Western League ball boy.
Okay.
I gave myself the award, but I ran away with the voting.
You played with Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, who had a great career at Fresno State and had a nice NFL career?
And a touchdown in the Persian Gulf Super Bowl? Yes, sir. It's my guy. Hamilton's finest.
Final seconds of the first half, 37-7. And they want more, these Sea Kings. Deflected into the air and no good. Still have a couple seconds left in what has been a one-sided affair in the opening half.
Have I told you how much I enjoy doing high school football games with you, Randy?
Occasionally. And I appreciate the shout-outs.
I hope the LA City takes us back. I'm not sure why they're afraid of some of the things they read in the paper, because what they're doing for the kids is unbelievable. I'd like to see them stand up and fight for their kids rather than stand on a principle that's not a principle.
Well, again, we still don't know why the LAUSD doesn't
want the
games.
Christy, their communications person, just doesn't want to get back to emails, and the couple things she threw out are debunked and non-starters, but she doesn't want to return emails. But Christy, if you hear this, we'd love to hear from you. We love the city.
Final play, barring a penalty of the half. And another fine run for Hernando, and he's out of bounds. And that will do it. We go to intermission. Hernando well over 100 yards in the first half. He's been in the end zone as well. He's had a magnificent opening 24 minutes. 37-7 at the break. Palos Verdes leading Lawndale. This is the Southern Section. This is the Bay League. This is football on LA36 and the NFHS Network. Tonight's LA City Section football game of the week is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6180.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm in Chatsworth. I'm Tarek Patel.
Why is he in Chatsworth? I'm Randy Rosenblum. I'm in Santa Fe Springs, and this is SoCal Prep Report. Yeah, our studios are in SoCal Prep Report right here at LA36. But Tarks in Chatsworth, he's going to come up with some excuse today why he shouldn't be here. I cannot understand it. Tark, explain it. This is 2 weeks in a row you've been playing hooky.
I'm just a lazy guy. Back to you, Randy.
That's it? Yeah,
No,
Bree
I'm
had
kidding.
the baby last night. So
I like this shot.
congratulations.
I like that shot with the empty seat. I don't know if that was on purpose. That was good. Yeah, just had our baby boy on last night. What's today? Today's Thursday. So yeah, Wednesday night. He came around 9:37, and baby Alden is here, 9 pounds 23 inches long, and man, healthy looking little guy. So and maybe just as important, a healthy wife and mama bear. So man, super blessed, super grateful. All is well. Everyone's healthy, and the family just got a little bigger.
Power forward, offensive lineman. Where does Alden fit in, and who's recruiting him?
Yeah, that's actually funny. I was actually, I'm not kidding. I've already been texting with David Rabibo, the Harvard Westlake boys basketball coach. I actually told him, I said, hey man, in like 15 years, if you're still at Harvard Westlake, I'd love for him to play for you. Or if you're at some ACC school, maybe he'll play for you in 18 years when he's going to college. And we started laughing. But I'm thinking more like wing type, kind of a 3-and-D cerebral player, probably about 6'4", 6'5", kind of shooting guard, wing player. That's where we're looking at basketball wise. But he could play a couple other sports. We'll see.
That's a little over the top. Okay. Worry about today, not 15 years down the road. But congratulations to Tarek and Bree, baby number 2. All right, a big baby was Santa Margarita. They were born and they have developed. A big win against Mater Dei in prep football, winning at 7-6. Dash Fafita on defense with 10 tackles. This Santa Margaret team, under the guidance of Carson Palmer in his first year, the former NFL quarterback, playing inspired football. Tarek, this surprised a lot of people, but it didn't surprise Tarek Fatal. You had this one last week on this show. You picked the Eagles.
Randy, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll just kind of repeat what I said. To me, the biggest point where I knew something was, and I'm not going to say wrong. See, people think that I'm hating on Mater Dei or like the sky is falling. No. Mater Dei is still a very, very, very good football team, a national power still. They're just not the juggernaut they once were. And when I saw them only up like 7-3, or it might have been like 8-7 or something against Kahuku at halftime at home in what I believe is not 0-1, but was week 2, I thought, wait a minute, something's not right here. And so I knew a loss was coming down the pike. Now, I didn't think they'd lose to Corona Centennial, but when I saw how good Santa Margarita's defense was, I was of the opinion this is going to be the game. And so I called my shot, and it happened to turn out. Now, I wouldn't have thought that Santa Margarita was able to hold Mater Dei to just 6 points. That is mind-blowing, impressive.
The return of Trent Mosley, the all-around great player, was huge. He scored the 1 touchdown for Santa Margarita. He'd been out. He wasn't healthy. He was in a walking boot most of the season. Obviously, Mosley's back. The Eagles have a nice upside offensively going down the road with Mosley back.
They do. And I was, listen, on the Fattel Factor, which is live Monday nights via YouTube at 8 o'clock, we had Carson Palmer on to talk about the game. And, I'll say, he was not shy about saying, he wasn't hammering his offense, but when you're talking about a quarterback that threw for 46,000 yards in the NFL, Randy, he's a little frustrated with his offense scoring, more like a lack thereof. They don't even score sometimes. So, but that defense, boy, that keeps them in game. So if the offense can catch up to that defense just a little bit, and I'm saying an extra touchdown or even 10 points per game, that's it. They can absolutely win Division I. They're that good.
Another good team is Murrieta Valley. They get by Chaparral. This was a highly entertaining contest. nearly 100 points scored, 56-42, the final for Murrieta Valley. I know going into this one, Tark, you thought this would be the best game of the week, and maybe it was, certainly in the CIF Southern section. We had a game in the city we're going to talk about in a little bit, but this one on the CIF Southern section side was a beauty.
Yeah, the player to watch for Murrieta Valley is Jeremiah Watson. They had a running back last year named Dorian Hose, and if you remember, Bear Bachmeyer, who's now the starting quarterback at BYU as a freshman, went down, right? He was hurt. So in comes Dorian Hose and basically put the team on his back and led them to a Division II final. Jeremiah Watson steps in, and he is maybe the best running back in regard to impacting winning in the Southern section. He's run for, I think, more than 600 yards in the last 3 games, 200 plus yards each game. So that's a name to keep an eye on. He's breakout player of the year type player.
Yeah, Watson's having a great year. You mentioned Bear Bachmeyer. He was the hero for BYU the other night in a double overtime win against Arizona. I went to bed. I was watching the game. I thought BYU was out of the game, and Bear pulled it out. So he's still doing great things now at the collegiate level. Next game, Pacifica of Oxnard. The Tritons continue to win football games. They are 7-0, but this was a tight one, Tark. This one went down to the wire, and it's a good victory for them against a solid St. Bonaventure team.
Yeah, I think early on, the questions for Pacifica were, okay, they're playing lesser competition, and they're running up the score. Well, what's going to happen when they play better teams and better battle-tested teams? And we saw them beat Oaks Christian narrowly, right? And then we're seeing them beat St. Bonaventure by a small margin. Bishop Diego up in Santa Barbara, which is also in the Marmani League, barely lost to Oaks Christian this past week. So that Marmani League is quite interesting. I don't know, by the small margins Pacifica is winning, I wouldn't be surprised if they tripped up and maybe lost a game, but I think they're likely to still win the Marmani League because all the other teams will somewhat cannibalize themselves.
Yeah, they won the game on a late field goal by David Carranza from 33 yards. And again, the Tritons continue to play flawless football, 7-0. Next game we want to talk about, Damien and Etiwanda. We know these teams really get going and battle in basketball, but the football rivalry is pretty good too. And Damien bounces back. They had a loss a week ago against Rancho Cucamonga. They come back 49-31 in this one. Satisfying victory for the Spartans.
Yeah, good bounce back victory for Damien, as after losing to Rancho Cucamonga, as you alluded to. So, yeah, I think there's always something to achieve during a football season, right? So Damien was unbeaten going into that Rancho game and then lost, right, by a small margin. So you're thinking, okay, well, our team's never lost this season, so how are they going to respond? Well, they beat a quality Etiwanda team. Etiwanda, not a juggernaut in football, but certainly athletes, well coached. So you got to come with your best on a Friday night, and it looks like the Spartans did that.
Koa Malaulu. He's the quarterback at St. John Bosco. Braves are putting up huge numbers. They're dominating everyone. They're number one in the country. Koa's coming off a 4-touchdown performance against Olu. You can see they blasted them 48-0. Bosco is not only rolling, Tarek, they're annihilating teams.
Yeah, this is the mark of a national power and probably a national champion if things keep going the way they do. I don't know if you remember, again, I'm having a good year when it comes to seeing down the road, right? I've called some shots that have worked out. I've missed on a couple, but on the big ones, like Mater Dei losing, called that. And what I did, I don't know if you remember, early in the year, Mater Dei was, I think, still unbeaten, like 2-0, 3-0. But the way they were playing, I didn't like it. So before they lost to Centennial, I don't really remember, I dropped them from 1 to 2, and I gave Bosco the nod. And next thing you know, Mater Dei lost. So I've been seeing St. John Bosco play better ball this year. And not that no one's talking about them, but no one's talking about them at the height at which Mater Dei used to be. And, I think that's kind of driving them a little bit. Despite blowing people out and being unbeaten, everyone seems to think St. John Bosco is still mortal and beatable. Well, they haven't shown signs of that. So it'll be an interesting latter part of this regular season and certainly in the postseason.
Well, another team that's been unbeatable, just dominating, wiping out everybody is Sierra Canyon. And they did that to Chaminade, blew them out easily. A handsome victory. What, they beat them 45-14. Sierra
Correct.
Canyon has really not been challenged this year.
Yeah, no, they haven't, and it's not like they've been playing slouches. Obviously, the Mission League's a tad down, but hey, they beat Jay Sarah. Okay, Jay Sarah's not great. They thumped Olu. Okay, Olu's still a good football team. They're just not a top tier Trinity League team. But when have they been? It's always, Bosco, Mater Dei, and then that third spot's always up and down. And usually it is Olu. So they've had some games where they thought they'd be challenged more, and they haven't been. So you have to ask yourself, was that more about Sierra Canyon or the opponent? I don't know. It remains to be seen. I tell you what, that Sierra Canyon team is no joke. And that's a little bit to what I was alluding to with the St. John Bosco story. Everyone seems to want to talk about more about Sierra Canyon than Bosco for some reason. I would like to think that Jason Negro, the coach at St. John Bosco, likes it just the way it is. Somewhat fly under the radar despite being number one in the country. No one's talking about us. Everyone's talking about the new flashy toy that is Sierra Canyon's defense. Perfect.
Well, I think that's normal. Everyone gets bored with the teams that win championships. They want to see somebody else at least challenge them, and Sierra Canyon is the new challenger, so we'll see how that develops going forward. A lot of people do believe that Sierra Canyon can get by Mater Dei, can get by St. John Bosco, and win the D1 title. We shall see. This was a game that kind of surprised me. It's not a giant upset. Bishop Amat beating Notre Dame, beaten by about a touchdown, but Amat was able to move the ball on the ground and control this game against this Notre Dame team of Sherman Oaks. Did this game surprise you, Tarek?
I would say it did, man. I would say a good stunner. I know, you tried to give it not that you downplayed it, but you said, a little bit of a shocker. I would say big shocker, stunner, because more so because of what Amat did the week before. They lost 35-0 to Chaminade. So you're thinking, here comes Notre Dame, who played Servite within a touchdown. I mean, good football team. And Bishop Amat is really a one-trick pony. They have a running back named Ryan Salcedo. I know we'll talk about him more in a moment. But it's like, Amat really can't pass the ball. They don't have athletes on the outside. So if you're Notre Dame, it's like, yeah, man, 8 in the box. Stop the run. Notre Dame couldn't do it. That was surprising to me. So good for Corey Minor and Bishop Amat for getting his team to respond. And that certainly throws a wrench into the rest of the Mission League after Sierra Canyon.
I know at the end of the year you pick top players and breakout players. Coach of the year could be Corey Minor. Remember, that team was 2-8 last year. He takes over. He's turned them around, and he's getting some pretty productive wins like the one against Notre Dame. All right, let's look at Tarek's CIF Southern Section Top 10. No surprise, St. John Bosco still ranked number 1, Sierra Canyon number 2. Tarek, seems to be in plain sight who the best teams are.
Yeah, again, the top 2 are unbeaten there. Lusinger, I felt deserved that number 10 ranking after a nice win over Palos Verdes. They're running the ball, they're passing the ball, they're playing good defense, all around games and results. Not a whole lot of movement other than Santa Margarita leapfrogging Mater Dei after their victory over the Monarchs for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think what's actually been interesting, if I were to do like a top 15, the teams that are constantly moving are like 11 to 15. It's that top ilk of Division II playoff teams.
Okay. The next thing
they lost. Go ahead.
I want to talk about this next thing because you put together, you were writing for one of your jobs, and I can't keep track of all your positions, but you had D1 playoff predictions. St. John Bosco, Sierra Canyon, Corona Centennial, Santa Margarita, Mission Viejo, Servite, and Orange Lutheran. No Los Alamitos, though, in that top 8. So why the 8 that you picked?
Yeah, I just think over time what's going to happen, it's not an indictment on Los Alamitos. I don't see them beating Mission Viejo. So they're going to drop a little bit. Los Alamitos is up there right now because they're beating teams and they're unbeaten. They're probably going to lose to Mission Viejo. Shoot, they could this week, so that could happen. And then the other one is Murrieta Valley. Murrieta Valley, I don't think will be in Division I. Why? They're going to eventually probably lose to Corona Centennial. So you're going to get those teams that are playing themselves really high. They're going to suffer some losses here. Division I, and they'll drop down. So that's why I went with those 8 teams.
And it'll probably make those teams more viable in the lower division so they don't have to worry about playing the big boys.
They're going to want to be there.
I agree with you. All right, let's turn our attention to the LA City section. We'll turn our attention in that direction. Palisades, in my mind, this was the greatest game, regular season game, maybe ever played in the LA City section. Palisades rallies, they had numerous lead changes in this game, 56-54. This was supposed to be our LA36 game of the week, but the LAUSD, and we don't know why, has kind of put an embargo, a stop on us doing city games for the time being. They haven't really given us a great answer. You can ask the LAUSD. We don't know why, so we're going to have a Southern section game for you this week. But forget that. It would have been great to have this game on television because it would have been a great exposure for a great event. But all in all, Palisades rallies. DeMar DeZern has 3 touchdowns, 1 a pick six. What a performance by Pally and Venice. Both of them, just a tremendous show.
Yeah, I think it was a shame that this game wasn't on TV and those kids didn't get that experience. I think, especially given what Palisades and that community has gone through, for them to get a little pub, a little screen time would have been really good for everybody involved, including LAUSD. So that's a story for another day. However, I do think, I know it's very positive that they won and it's a great game. I do think big picture, though, this is an example. Palisades needs to really shore things up if they want to be an open division championship contender in the city section. They're going to be in the open. I don't know if they'll be able to, I don't know if they'll have the beef in the defense to stop the Carson and the Birminghams of the world. So they need to shore that up before the postseason.
A couple quick scores in the LA City section we want to talk about. University knocks off Hamilton, although Thomas Bro throws for 310 yards and 4 touchdowns in the loss. Hamilton missed 2 two-point conversions. That's why they lost the game. Uni's only loss this year is to Pally. This University team is having a good year. They'll be in the playoffs somewhere. And congratulations to Kennedy. They clobbered Silmar. But the story here is Diego Montes, the quarterback, running and throwing touchdowns throughout his career. Tark, his total now has reached 100. So 100 career touchdowns for Kennedy of Granada Hills, Diego Torres. What a great accomplishment.
Yeah, Diego Montes is a tremendous player. He does it through the air. He does it with his feet. He's a good leader. He's an all-city guy. My guess is if Kennedy Athletics has any type of Hall of Fame, he'll be in it. And maybe if they win a city title, maybe he has a crack at being in the city section Hall of Fame. I know that sounds grandiose now, but it's got to be a short list, 100 touchdowns in your football career, right, Randy? I mean, you've seen a lot of football in your day. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, Milton Knox is the only one that comes to mind at Birmingham.
There you go.
I think he had 104 rushing touchdowns. There's probably someone else, but other than Knox, you're right. It's a rare individual who gets their rarefied air for Montez. All right, let's look at the Max Preps top 10 in the LA City section. They have Carson ranked number 1. Birmingham and San Pedro are next in line. Pally, who needs to shore up that defense, at 4. Kennedy, Montez and Company at 5. Then Eagle Rock, King Drew, Venice, Franklin, and Garfield.
Yeah, I think this is a better interpretation of the top 10 now that Max Preps is, again, as more data comes in for their computers and so on and so forth, you get to see, I think, a little more accurate as the postseason rolls around, which is all that matters. Frankly, as long as everything's the way it's supposed to be by the time week 10 concludes, that's all that really matters. Looking at rankings from week 0 through week 10 is really just for fun. It doesn't mean anything until the playoffs come, because now both sections seed according to what the computer rankings say. And that's a better representation of what's going on. I would give University, if there's anyone that should probably crack into that top 10, maybe University should be in there now after beating Hamilton. That's a quality win and a little bit of a stunner. So I got to look deeper into that program. They deserve probably a little more coverage.
All right, some top performances last week in the LA City section and the Southern section. Jeremiah Watson, you mentioned him from Murrieta Valley. He had another huge rushing game, well over 200 yards. Ryan Salcedo of Bishop Amat just went nuts in that victory over Notre Dame, 371 and 5 touchdowns. Jake Nettle of Saugus, the quarterback, 342 and a school record 7 touchdowns over West Ranch. Brady Edmonds out at Huntington Beach, a big game. Look at the accuracy, 18 of 21, 3 touchdowns, and a nice win over a very good La Habra team. Great win for HB there. Gavin Gray, quarterback Agoura, another big game, 5 touchdowns, and he ran for another one in the victory over Dos Pueblos. And Jack Thomas in that Palisades game, 460 yards, 5 touchdowns against Venice. Bennett Dome of Venice threw for 5 touchdowns on the other side. Just, like I said, a classic game. Anything there that strikes your fancy, Tarek?
No, I just think it's fun to see quarterbacks air it out. Obviously, Salcedo with the 371. I think it came back 351 officially, but the 5 touchdowns. I mean, he single-handedly, beat Notre Dame by himself, which is just remarkable. I mean, 30.
We're back. Lawndale High School halftime homecoming. The visiting Sea Kings from Palos Verdes 37. Lawndale, who will receive the second half kickoff 7. Joining us is a legendary special guest, one who we are all extremely fond of. We're joined up here by the winningest coach in LA City history, who is 4 wins short of 300. Robert Garrett from Crenshaw High School joins us. Coach, we have missed you on the sidelines. We are dying for you to get back to us, but having you up here and joining us is unbelievable. I spotted you in the crowd. Right away, I knew what you were doing here, but tell our viewers what brings you to Lawndale High School tonight.
Real simple. The Lawndale coaches are 2 of my understudies, as I have a lot of understudies coaching football in the CIF. And the head coach is one of my understudies, and the offensive coordinator is one of my understudies. I don't get a chance to see them, and I came out tonight to support them, and don't look too good for them right now, but I want to give them my support.
Well, Coach, maybe they could have had a better mentor. What would you do down 37-7? We're watching this game. Lawndale's young. They're running up against a defending state champion team who's obviously a program at a different level. What do you tell these young kids now? What do you look for to make this second half something positive?
If it was me, I would tell them to keep playing, keep fighting, stay positive, keep doing your best, and good things will happen. Don't quit, and just keep playing, keep your head up, get ready for the next play, and just keep playing, and have some brotherhood amongst each other. That's one thing I've not seen too much. They've got to support one another. So I think support each other is one thing, and I would recommend that they just keep playing, have positive attitudes, and uplift each other, pull each other up.
Coach,
that's what I would tell them.
Before I let you go, because we're about to start the second half, I just know that you and I standing here together is a danger zone. 2 of the people of the LA City, for some reason, just doesn't want to put their arms around and hug. I can understand why they hate me. I'm too opinionated. You're a legend. They need to treat you better. You don't have to comment. I'll do that for you. What they're doing to you, I can't believe. I just can't wait for you to get your 300 and let them live with that the rest of their lives, because I know you've earned every one of those wins. And I know how many kids you've positively impacted. So thank you for joining us up here.
Sure, you bet. God got me. Don't worry.
I got you too. Coach is giving the headsets back to Randy and Lawndale. Here we go.
The second half kickoff. It's great to hear from Coach Garrett. Legendary guy. What a career he has had, as you see that it was brought back by Jaden Beard. Of course, he's the guy that had that long touchdown for Lawndale in the first half on the kick return. Let's see if the Cardinals can get it revved up. Maybe get a score here or 2 and make it a little bit more exciting for this homecoming crowd.
When you hear Coach talk about what he sees, and that's the difference between his program, his kids, and what he's been able to accomplish. I mean, that's insightful stuff.
Yeah, they have to establish the ground game. They're not going to come out and just throw the football on every down because they're down 30. When they had success moving it in the first half, because they had brought in the backup running back who just toted the football again, Whitehurst, Maki Whitehurst. There he is. He was so impressive in that second quarter late in the game. He came in and really energized this football team, brought some enthusiasm, some excitement out there. See if Whitehurst can have a productive second half. I'm certain he will. And he's going to try it again. Breaks a tackle, but he's hit at the point of attack. You can see the white shirts collaborating on the stop. This Palos Verdes defense has run to the football all evening long. They have been outstanding. 44 is always in the middle of it. That's Weston Reese. 37-7. You can see we're just a little over a minute into the third quarter.
Randy, that's a tremendous sophomore, Whitehurst. He's a young running back that you can resculpt your offense around if you don't have a quarterback who throws as well as Julian Galvez. So you replace him, you'll find a quarterback who can throw and will eventually throw well, but that's a great young tailback. I know you're still super excited with what might have been the greatest baseball performance in history tonight. You're a Dodger guy.
Let's not go overboard, Chuck. Here we go, and it's nearly picked off. They tried the middle screen, and Logan Lara, 52, nearly had a pick six. He was in the right spot at the right time. He had diagrammed the play, dropping back in coverage.
He did an excellent job dissecting that play, and if he doesn't get his hands on that ball, we got a nice gainer for Lawndale. Great play call. The little quarterback brings him back, and you could see the wall downfield if he can get that ball in his hands.
Lara knows he was that close to a pick six. That sideline, they've worked well tonight, Lara and company. They've been very, very solid at both ends, both offensively and defensively. That's why they have this handsome cushion of 30 points. Punting unit on for Lawndale. And again, they have issues, and down the sideline comes Beard. And he's got the first down. Nice effort. Jaden Beard has been electric. He's had the big plays. That moves the sticks.
And he's a sophomore. Look at that. You got a young team.
Now, do you think that was intentional or was it a high snap? I think it was intentional. I think they went for it. I really do.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a fake punt. Direct snap to the up back, and he did the most with it. Great fight to start the second half.
That's a great call by Norris Milton and company on that Lawndale side. Ball out to the 46-yard line. Well, some razzle-dazzle there as that one comes to Kingberry, but this was some play earlier. Here's the pass.
I hate to see the DB drop his head in the position that he does. That's really not the way to tackle. Please keep your head up, but the tackling really, when you watch Nick, who they were picking on in the first half, what a great tackle. Just keep your head up.
Still amazed by that Beard run out of punt formation. Pressure again on the quarterback, and he's going and slides down smartly. That's what Galvez can do. He got out of the pocket in a hurry. And again, he's hobbled. This is a guy that's fighting. He's physically banged up, but he's not going to come out. His team's down 30, but he's out there. He's battling. He's fighting for the cause.
I love him. I told you that in the opening. He plays with tremendous fire and heart. And I go back to Nick Yakubik, who really is a dynamic young corner. The way he hits, it's really impressive. These guys all in the secondary tackle low and crisp, wrap-up tackles. They hit you right at the knees. Just keep that head up. Protect yourself.
Galvez again setting up the screen. It's up in the air, and it's caught by a Lawndale player. That's good enough, I think, for a first down. That's not how it was diagrammed, but they'll take it.
I guess because it was touched by a defender first, it becomes a live ball for anybody. And that was another.
Anthony Adams, the left tackle, is the one who caught the ball. 52. We've had some odd plays here.
Yeah, that was another potential pick six that turned into a homecoming highlight for Anthony Adams.
You never see a play like that. Odd sequence of plays here in Lawndale. Again, pressure on Galvez, able to get it out quickly, but you can see a punishing hit again by Nick Yakubik. Coming down with the grab was Tyree Cook of Lawndale, number 7.
Yakubik is a 165-pound senior. He hits like he's about 185. He's really, really great at reading from outside in. In other words, he takes a peek at what his receiver is doing, but sees right through to the quarterback. And I'm watching Lawndale.
Personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And I love what we're doing, and I just have to say, Brett Stye, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing us to highlight these kids and watch them grow as individuals and teams, and your generosity to help us show this on TV. For those that don't want this opportunity, they really are not doing what's in the best interest of the kids. So thank you, Brett Stye.
After the infraction, it's inside the 30. And a scoring opportunity for the Cardinals. Galvez again looking to throw it. The sideline incomplete.
They dropped everybody into coverage, but that doesn't diminish the job that O-line did, really creating a nice pocket. The tackles did an excellent job taking those ends, running them upfield, and giving Julian a real nice pocket to step up to.
Wanted Ford on the sideline.
And the flip side of that is they had so many guys in coverage that you really, in a 3 or 4 man route against 7 guys, tough to get guys open in that situation.
Now it's King Berry in the backfield, number 3 you can see. He's the Wildcat quarterback.
I would say it's Zavi time.
Berry the two-way player. King Berry running hard. Pounding inside the 20 is King Berry.
Now they got a 3rd and short.
Weston Reese with the tackle. This has been a nice drive.
Beautiful way to start the second half. Absolutely. Stalled for a few plays, but came with the fake punt, finding ways to move the ball, and that's exactly what you wanted to see. A 30-point comeback against this team's probably not in the cards, but picking up some touchdowns and moving the ball, this is outstanding.
Not in the cards, huh? With the Cards driving. And they'll run the football, and there's nothing there. 52, Logan Lara busted up the play.
Randy, I've never seen a guy at 230 pounds play like he's 300. That's all in the get-off. That's all in his pad level. He gets underneath people, drives them into the hole. Great young defensive lineman. Not young, but young because he's in high school still.
Well, he is a junior. Well, this is a motivated football team at Palos Verdes. Again, they were bitterly upset with their performance a week ago against Lusinger. They take pride in winning just about every game. Galvez to the air. A near miss.
Actually, that wasn't Galvez. I think.
Yeah, it was. It was Galvez who threw it, and he tried to hit Jaden Beard.
No, that was number 3 at quarterback.
You think
that
it
was
King Berry.
King Berry, yeah. Julian Galvez was on the sidelines, I believe.
I didn't know that King Berry could throw it like that. We do now. Unfortunately, that was 4th down, and the ball's going to go over on downs. Here comes the offense of Palos Verdes. So at the midway stage of the 3rd quarter, the drive stalls, and it's back to the Sea Kings.
I know they wanted points. Everybody wanted them to score, but 6 minutes off the clock against an offensive team like this, it's still a positive way to start the half.
37-7 Sea Kings dominating the game. But you see the defense rallying to the football. Hernando had no chance. Shooting through was Whitehurst, the young man that's been running it so well. Mackay Whitehurst. They found themselves a football player.
On against a great team on a night where a star is born. Two-way football player, 10th grader. A lot to be seen from him over the next few years.
Really like his intensity level. There's the run. Here comes Hernando. Near side. Out across the 35 and to the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Travion Kendrick.
Another sophomore, a great open field tackle. This is a super group of young football players.
Well, there's talent here at Lawndale. There's no question about that. They just ran into a buzzsaw tonight in Palos Verdes.
Yeah, they've already doubled their win total from last year. They're not done. They're going to get a playoff seed, I would believe, in a lower division. And that's what this program needs.
Inside of 5 to play in the third. This is our score at halftime, 37-7. No offense on the board so far, but this Sea King team and Hernando is running it very effectively. This looks like the drives they had throughout the first half, where Dominic was just chewing up yardage. Number 5 is having a huge game.
We talk about everything he does well, and the list continues to grow. You know, he fumbled once early, I believe that was him on the goal line. But the way he selectively finds a lead blocker, he finds a hole, he slows it down when there's no hole. His patience is his greatest virtue, but he runs so hard.
Great night, too, for Giorgio Damasio, the quarterback. Throwing a couple touchdown passes, getting his opportunity to play. He's looking for more with the deep ball. And this one is picked off. And the interception by King Barry. There's that man again. King Barry with the pick. His third of the year.
King Barry's only a junior. It's an impressive group of young football players. And for the 10th graders, look at the play he makes. You know, this is how you play zone. You stay on top of the ball from the corner and the backside. And just those things that they didn't do in the first half, they're doing now. That's a big second half. This is a big start for a young football team. Palos Verdes has not pulled their starters.
Ricky McCarthy Lee was the intended receiver. And a terrific effort by King Barry. Looked like Barry was the receiver on that play. But he gets the pick. And Lawndale has it again. A little bit of a mix-up there in the backfield, and you can see the play is debunked.
Galvez is back in, and you could just see when he runs to the sidelines to get plays, and then he runs back. He's coming. He got injured tonight. There's no doubt about it. I'd like to see them develop signals for him.
You like that label, the SEC of the public schools here in the Bay League?
I think that's a pretty solid call right there. This is a great league.
And again, Lawndale's trying to compete.
We talk about Inglewood and Lusinger, and Coach Milton said Miracosta is the beast of the East. And those are 3 great football teams.
I like that Inglewood talent. Good possibility, high likelihood we'll see them in the next couple of weeks on LA36.
As they're kind of stuck down there trying to move mountains with, you know, really not the equipment needed. You look at this from top to bottom, and if Miracosta's 1, Lusinger and Inglewood are 2 and 3, Palos Verdes is 4. That's one hell of a 4th place football team. I don't see them ending up in 4th place. They're good.
Well, wherever they end up, whatever division they drop to in the playoffs, they're going to be a definite threat. They proved last year they could win it all. And when you get Ryan Rakowski back, who's their all-CIF quarterback, I mean, Rakowski's a guy. Again, he's not playing today because he's penalized for being tossed last week. Here's a pass to the near side again to the King Barry. But Rakowski, 72% of his accuracy this year, throwing the ball. Nearly 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So they're going to get him back next week.
He's phenomenal, but when you look at the replay on this, look at this great quick delivery. Look at the spot he places that ball, and look where the receiver runs to the sticks. I mean, when you look at Galvez at 5'10", or, you know, and he may not even be that tall, that kind of a release and that kind of a route by King Barry, getting to the sticks on 3rd and 8, I'm blown away by how efficient they actually can be.
Well, if you give him time, he is a precise pocket passer. But again, that line has to hold up. And a lot of times you've seen them filter through and make stops. Chase DeMoss has had a big game, number 11. They just have not been able to block the Sea Kings consistently.
Yeah, when I fill out my CIF Southern Section brackets for November Madness, I'm taking all the teams from this league and I'm advancing them. They play great football here in this league.
Pace a little quicker here in the third quarter. The clock running after first half there was a lot of penalties thrown, a lot of big plays, but penalties. But you can see the Sea Kings again swarming to the football, not allowing the ground game to take fold as E.J. Baker carried it.
E.J. Baker, he's a freshman. He's the baby of the group. This is a outstandingly young, talented squad. Excited to see where Coach Milton takes them.
Well, Coach Milton is building the foundation. He knows he's not going to win the Bay League title. He just wants to improve week to week, much like Palos Verdes. But the pieces are here. You're right. The young talent, they're going to grow together and mature together as they move forward in their prep careers. Another quick one to the 25-yard line. Galvez to Galvez.
Now baby Galvez is limping off the field. I don't want to see that. That's a lot of ice tonight in the Galvez household.
Punting unit will come out.
How cool would it be to see pictures of Julian and Zavi when they were young?
Well, I like it. We have brothers on both sides.
Yeah,
we have the Reese brothers, who are twins on Palos Verdes, and we have the Galvez brothers. They're not twins, obviously. One's a senior, one's a freshman, but we have the brothers on the Lawndale side. We'll take a break. Big lead for Palos Verdes.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org. There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
78-8301 by Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports medicine and chiropractic. 818-508-6188. On fourth down, a nice run again by Beard, and they get the first down, so the drive continues out to the 30.
Well, Randy, what do we have here? A picture of our quarterback receiver tandem and duo. There they are, Julian and Zavi as kids.
That's a great picture. And obviously, they look like they're having fun there. They've had some fun tonight, although their team is buried down by 37-7. But that was a great picture. This picture not as great for the ball club at Lawndale, and you can see there that Julian had to slide down with it to save the play.
Tough snap to handle with those ends coming as rough as they do and as hard as they do. But, you know, again, we're at the same score that we were at halftime, and we're closing in on what could be a big drive for these young ones.
For his brother, incomplete. A lot of traffic there. There was 4 white shirts in the area and only Zavi Galvez. So very fortunate to get that ball back is Julian Galvez. Well, give Palos Verdes a lot of credit. They came out, stormed to a big lead, ran out to a 20-0, 23-0 lead, and they have really never been in any kind of jeopardy here tonight. Homecoming at Lawndale High School. Crowd pretty quiet right now. Their team down. Another quick one to the far side. And again, this Palos Verdes defense. You know, they just run to the football so beautifully. Not a lot of breakdowns at all. They seem to be so fundamentally sound. That one was brought in by King again. And he seems to be hobbled, King Barry. 4th down and 9, and the punting unit is on, and Lawndale again offensively bogs down.
Nobody deep. They don't know. They may probably are thinking fake again. Nope. Now they put somebody deep.
Well, they faked it 3 times already tonight. Don't know that they'll do that here on 4th and 9. And this punt is cleanly away. Palos Verdes is taking some of the gas off the pedal right now. They're not pushing that pedal, not looking like a team that wants to pour it on. Guy Gardner knows he's got 37 points. He's only got 9:40 to run off the clock and go home with a victory.
I look at Lawndale, and the first thing I think about is, yeah, this is great for Julian Galvez. He's a homecoming quarterback at a school where he started for 3 years. He's getting to throw passes to his brother. He's a dynamic student, great kid. He got his grandparents shouted out, and, what a moment to play high school football with your brother.
And this has been the theme all night. Big runs for Hernando, who takes it into Lawndale territory yet again. Number 5, I think he's probably going to get the game ball for Palos Verdes. He's going to be their player of the week. Dominic Hernando. He has been just splendid.
So we're going to give him the Brett Stye MVP award right now.
I would.
I'm giving it to him.
No, we're not taking stats, but I got to believe he's around 200 yards. He's been sensational.
I would say that's very accurate.
Well, PV again into Lawndale territory, and there's Dominic going again, still on his feet. Look at those moves. Juking and jiving. What a run by this sensational running back, Dominic Hernando.
When you watch Palos Verdes on film, they jump out at you because they're so effective with everything they do. They're disciplined with everything they do. Every block, you can see these kids, they don't waste steps. When they do, they get beat. But, they run hard. They put the ball on the money. They got a beautiful night here, Randy.
I think every game we've done, they put the temperature up. Larry Zaval in the truck loves temperatures. He's a weather guy. And it's always been between 72 and 68, no matter what week we're in. Doesn't matter who runs it. This time it's Christian Reese. He's as sure as the weather in Southern California.
Well, that's great timing. By the way, when you watch the local news at night, there's 4 weather segments in the first 30 minutes. Our weather's got to be great, or the people giving us the weather, the meteorologists. Maybe they've got millions of viewers, but all we see is the weather.
I don't know why they even mention the weather. It never changes here. It's always the same. It never rains in Southern California.
No, but there's a high-speed pursuit every half hour. We could just
that gets
focus
ratings.
on that.
Someone needs to track down, speaking of high-speed pursuit, needs to track down 42 and 5. Those 2 running backs for Palos Verdes have been sensational tonight in Lawndale. And the blocking up front's been very good as well, and they're just pounding away. Smash mouth football for the Sea Kings. Reese carrying it, number 42, Christian Reese. He's only a sophomore, 5'10" and 170 pounds. By the way, we talk about the 2 brothers that are playing. Their older brother, he also played for the school. Jacob, he was a fine player for Palos Verdes. So it's been a family tradition. 2nd down and about 8. One of the rare times we see the quarterback Damasio carry it, and they run him down from behind. That's the speed, the talented linebacker Ontiveros.
Now, I'm sure Coach wants to see him sitting in the pocket, throwing the ball, handing off the ball, but I don't think he wants to see him trying to make plays with his legs right now. When you're the backup quarterback, you got to stay healthy.
And that's not his game either. He's a pocket passer. Again, the first stringer, Ryan Rakowski, gives you that dual threat ability. He's a tremendous runner and passer. But when you talk about Giorgio, when he throws it, he wants to be in the pocket.
Yeah, when I watched Damasio's ball, it's just a beautifully thrown ball. His deep ball is spectacular. I saw it in pregame.
Pocket holds up. There's the throw to the near side. Short gain brought in by Jack Chris.
And that was a textbook tackle by King Barry. I would have loved to have seen him wrap, but when you have to come up on a tight end as big as that, you need to come low. Wrap him up, but that was a great hit by the young safety.
Yeah, you don't want to take on Chris. He's a big tight end. He's a load. But Barry brought him down nicely.
This is big for Palos Verdes, right? Anytime you get a chance to kick a field goal in a game 2 weeks before the playoffs, this has to be automatic from this range.
Well, Nico Dragon is a man they have confidence in. This one is about 34 yards. Well within his range. Trying to get some points on the board for the first time in the second half. High snap, but it's placed down. Plenty of leg. And it is good. 3 points for Dragon. 3 more points for Palos Verdes. Taking the score to 40-7.
Yeah, you said it was a little high, and obviously it was. But it really came back there nicely. It came back right over the tee. But the holder did do an excellent job of putting it down, and very, very quick execution there. I think Coach has to be proud, at least happy of it.
Well, if you're Palos Verdes, you've been down there a few times in the second half, finally getting some points.
I would consider that high, but I also consider good velocity and a great hold.
Let's give that holder some credit. It's Drew Moulton, senior wide receiver, free safety, who does the holding. Drew Moulton.
And we're really here, LA, it's Lawndale, but you just have to take your hat off to Palos Verdes, what they've done over the last 5 years and how they've climbed to dominance.
Chuck, I know you're having fun. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. It's past my bedtime, way past. Usually I'm 9 o'clock news and snoring by 9:30, but
don't you think
night,
that's a little bit too much information with the snoring? We don't need to hear about that, do we?
Well, to myself I snore. I'm assuming I do. Yeah. All right, maybe TMI.
I think so. 40-7 in favor of the Sea Kings, and they're kicking it off yet again with Dragon.
Have you ever been told you snored?
I'm not going to get into that.
Okay. Well, that'd be a great opportunity to bring on an anti-snoring sponsor. Brett Stein may create a formula for anti-snoring. We got one more sponsor. Wouldn't have to get anybody in trouble.
It's a touchback. I don't know where to go with this, with the snoring. That's nobody's sleeping. We're watching a football game. We're trying to stay up. We're trying to be excited.
I'm great. I could do 5 overtimes tonight. I want to see Galvez lead them down the field here.
So does Coach Norris Milton. He'd like to see a drive that produces points. Their only points tonight was the kick return, the touchdown, the gorgeous return by Jaden Beard for a score. That's been it. So the offense has not scored.
When Milton was at Hamilton, he took over a program in July. He probably had, I guess it was 20 right after the pandemic or right before. He had 18 guys in his program. And 3 years later, they're playing in an LA City Division II championship game. And he's going to do it here because he's got better people around him. He's got an administration and a set of facilities that are going to allow him to win.
He's just a great guy, too.
Isn't he?
He's very personable, nice to be around. He escorted us around the school, showing us the weight room, all the facilities here, and it is a lovely campus. There's another throw to the sideline, and King Barry comes back and makes the catch at the 40-yard line. This King Barry's a very good player.
Galvez has all the faith in the world. That was probably his worst pass of the night, but he really put it in a great place because he knows King's going to come down with it. A phenomenal play for a junior wide receiver, and he looks back and probably, he didn't put enough on that ball, but put enough on it for him to make that catch.
Battling with Nelson, the safety, and he came up with the football. Some contact. We've had a cleaner second half, but here the flags obviously are coming out.
I told you you'd like Milton, but the best part was
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
But I know you had a great phone conversation with him and told him how great he was, how nice he was. But I'll never get over when, Randy, you met Coach Milt and said, God, you're a good-looking guy, too. What does that mean? Chuck Price can't know good-looking people?
I was just stating what was the
Are
obvious.
most coaches not good-looking?
You know what he said? He had great-looking parents.
He sure did.
That's what he mentioned. Run up the middle. You know, it's a 47 game when you are starting to talk about the coach and his looks and how handsome his parents are. Little fill time there.
Well, they're from Atlanta, Georgia. They're from Atlanta, and I'm sure they're not staying up watching this live, but
there's Whitehurst again. I know your comment was tonight, a star is born, that sophomore.
Well, he's a star to be amongst a lot of stars. Everybody that touches the ball, with the exception of Julian Galvez, is an undergrad on a team that's got a lot of explosiveness.
Inside of 3 minutes to go, down to 2:45. And that's all that separates PV from another victory.
A great cutback, great drive. He doesn't quit. That's the fight you want to see. And it's 3rd and long, and you see the punt team starting to get ready. And those are signs of discipline.
Third down and 7. In a much quicker second half. As I said before, not as many flags.
What a difference that makes, huh, Randy?
Yeah, first half took a while, but there was a lot of excitement generated by some big plays. There's a big play. There goes Whitehurst again on his way inside the 40 of Palos Verdes. This young running back is flashing brilliance.
We probably need to give him a nickname. Call him Bradley. As in Bradley Cooper, a star is born. But if we're going with a star is born, Bradley's a lot quicker. I love the way he runs. And we love the way he plays defense.
Two-way player. Uh-oh, do we have another flag?
Not have a running clock. Please watch our signals. Stop the clock when we stop the clock.
Paul not happy about that clock running.
Well,
so we don't know officially what time is remaining. Let's see if they put more time on the clock. For whatever reason, it is running. He said we're not at a running clock situation. We shouldn't be. It's only a 33-point deficit. Say only because they don't stop. The running clock has to be greater than that. Galvez to the air. The deep ball. Tip, caught, touchdown, Barry. The King has scored. King Barry on the deflection.
I'm happy for these kids at Lawndale. What a great way for them to end the evening on offense.
The King.
That's a pretty gifted wide receiver, Randy Rosenblum. I'm glad we got to see him tonight.
40-13. Glad they were able to score before the clock expired. And they all seem to know where the camera is, but they need that liquid as well. King Barry's turned in a great game. Played hard on defense, made some spectacular plays on offense, and he has a thirst for the water on the sideline. Kick is up and good, and it's 40-14 with $1:14 left before we say goodnight.
In talking to Coach Milton before the game, he knew what he was going up against. But look at the replay here. Really a great throw. Once again, anytime you give, well, it was still a nice throw. DB had a great play on the ball. It just went through his hands.
Yeah, Forrest Mangum had a chance here. 24 Mangum just deflecting it, and Barry got it.
Really great coverage and an unbelievable play on the ball. You never want to let somebody get behind you, but he was in a spot to make the interception. It just got through his hands.
And while we have the time, I want to thank everybody at Lawndale, Norris Milton and his staff. Very accommodating. Same for the Palos Verdes people. It's been great to be part of this Bay League game and see these two teams battle it out. Palos Verdes is going to fall to 4-4, 1-2 in the league. Let's check that. Palos Verdes will go to 5-3, 2-1 in the league. Lawndale will go to 4-4 and 0-3 in the Bay League. So Palos Verdes to 2-1 in the league. 40-14 is the score, and an onside kick, and it's covered beautifully by the Sea Kings.
And you know what? The one thing that I wanted to mention before closing is Ezekiel Martin. Ezekiel Martin is a quality control coach at Lawndale High School, here strictly to be a student assistant to Coach Milton. He films, he monitors everything. He does the pregame film, he does the practice setup, almost like a director of operations at the high school level. But here's somebody who really wants to learn football, wants to be a coach, wants to get into scouting. I take my hat off to Ezekiel because he does an unbelievable job. But what about Coach Milton, giving a student an opportunity to be a part of a bigger picture? That's what we're doing here with the LA kids.
Jackson Reese is the one that recovered the onside kick. Still good yardage for these running backs. And running hard and going down the field is Antonio Robles. He's noted for being a wide receiver and punt returner. He's a junior running back with tremendous wheels. You can see the speed on that one.
I think the referee really wants to be here all night. I don't think that the Palos Verdes staff cares if the clock runs out. Oh, those 5 seconds were. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. Clock is running down to 40 seconds left. Will Palos Verdes even try to score here? And we'll hand it off. And once again carrying the football is Robles. This time no success. They stormed in on him that time.
Great sport.
Chasing him down was E.J. Baker, and that might just do it. We'll see. We might have one more play.
No, they're going to midfield. That's a classy football program. They're happy to get out of here with a.
They could run another play, but you're right. They're not going to. They've said, let's let that clock tick down. That's going to end it. Your final score at Cardinals Stadium in Lawndale is Palos Verdes 40, Lawndale 14. We'll come back after this timeout and wrap it up. We'll have that wrap-up show right after this.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Tonight's LA City Section Football Game of the Week is presented by Lee's Tires in Lomita. How can we help you today? 310-378-8301. By Red West Pizza, with locations in Lomita and Wilmington. Festive and family friendly, serving Italian eats in an unfussy setting. It's Red West Pizza. And by Premier Body Method, for the best physical sports medicine with a personalized approach. Sports Medicine and Chiropractic, 818-508-6188. And there's Guy Gardner talking to his team. He was not happy with the result a week ago against Lusinger. I would think he's satisfied here tonight. He was playing without his star quarterback, Ryan Rakowski. He was without Jalen Flowers, his four-star defensive back and wide receiver, who has an injury, probably will come back next week, a guy who is being recruited by everyone. But despite those two not with us tonight, they had the running back, the guy who put on quite a show, Dominic Hernando, number 5. He was terrific, and their defense was dominant as well, led by Show Moses, 25. But Hernando was the guy. But how about this throw, the deep ball down the field to Boyd.
I love the job Giorgio Dimasio did tonight.
And here's the score for Jaden Beard on the kick return. That was sensational.
A lot of nice football plays tonight was what made this thing and really enjoyable to watch. Obviously, you watch Dimasio again, and that's a second picture perfect touchdown.
That one to Christian Stevens. These highlights predominantly Palos Verdes, and again, they were swarming the football tonight. It wasn't easy for this Lawndale offense. It was a near interception. That's the one where it looked like Logan Lara was going to pick it off and score. One of the rare times they're able to get that man to the ground. Dominic finally took some punishment there. There's another big play, and they were able to do this all evening long, but this one was on the defense. That was Kingberry with the pick.
And then here's Galvez, with another great throw. This was the one that could have been intercepted, but ended up a great touchdown pass. And
to the King?
Yeah.
Well, there's Guy. Again, he's really well known. 17 years of excellence at Palos Verdes. He's won 3 CIF championships, won a state title. School's won 4, but he's won 3 of their 4 CIF titles in 17 years. We wish Palos Verdes the best of luck. We hope Lawndale grows and gets better and better. It was fun being here on homecoming, Chuck.
Great being with you. Great watching these kids. And this was a dominant performance by a dominant team. It wasn't just a typical, we won by 40 points against an inferior team. This was a team that was absolutely excellent.
Guy Gardner, teachable moment after a big victory, 40-14. I want to thank our entire LA36 crew. For Chuck Price, I'm Randy Rosenblum. So long for now. 40 for the Sea Kings, 14 for the Cardinals. Good night from Lawndale.